the prompt doesn't say all white people. The prompt is talking on white narcissism and racism. So is it true then? Yes or no?
It's half true.
How can something be half true? Go on.
How can something be half true? It can be true in this room, but not true in that room.
So this is not about a room to room situation. We're kind of talking about real life. Yeah. So we're talking on white narcissism. Does white narcissism exist? Yes or no?
In places, yes.
No, it's not in places because you can't pick and choose. You can't pick and choose where narcissism appears. You can't really. That's not how narcissism works. No. That's not how narcissism works.
Well, I have a question for you.
Okay, go on.
No, Neil, I think you need to understand what Leanne is saying before you start asking questions. Neil, you need to actually grasp. 1 minute, Neil. You need to grasp the basis of the conversation first before you ask questions. And hopefully the questions you're going to ask are going to be related to what Leanne is trying to tell you.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Thank you.
So she had an issue with the premise of the live. So I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to get to your root cause of what the issue of the actual live is.
Okay, so what about when you said about white people's teeth, and you said they live in moldy flats?
Yeah, you do realize, George Washington,
Right.
his teeth were made up of slaves. You do know that, right?
What does that do to do with me in Ireland? Explain
Who's
that.
talking about you, Neil? No one was talking about you specifically. You chose to put yourself front and center with what we were talking about.
Are you admitting then you're narcissistic and racist then because you keep referring it back to you?
Yeah.
Again, white narcissism is a broad statement, is it not?
It is a broad statement, but does that mean so are you the prompt then?
Am I the prompt? No, I'm against
It's a broad statement, so you can agree it's a broad statement, right?
No, do two wrongs make a right?
It's not wrong.
Let's ask this question, guys, to Neil. Neil, why is it that I have white people down here in the comment section who are not upset by this prompt? They're getting it. Why would you feel like you are finding a problem compared to your other white compatriots that get it? Why are you taking this so personally, Neil?
Oh, because I'm not as much of a how do I put it?
Yeah, say what you want to say, Neil.
Okay, hold on. I believe in equality.
Okay.
Right? From the top to the bottom. Right? So when a person comes in and denies equality or empathy for another person just because they want empathy, that's wrong.
Neil, you're not answering my question. My question is, why is it that some people in the chat here are white and they're not upset by the prompt, but you are? What makes you different from these other white people?
What makes you different from anyone else? I'm a different person.
What makes you different?
No. Let's recenter just a little bit. So you're from Ireland, right? Okay. So in Ireland, can you agree racism exists, right?
Yeah, 100%. Okay.
What is Ireland doing about racism currently?
I don't actually know, other than what can any country really do about racism? How can the top control the bottom when it comes to views?
So you agree that white people are the top and brown and black people are the bottom?
No, I agree that the government is the top and the people in the country are the bottom. That's what I agree.
And people in the country is all mixed ethnicities and races. So who exactly?
Mainly white.
Yeah, 100% mainly white. But who's really at the bottom? Let's be honest.
The traveling community.
No, because the traveling community don't get arrested as much as they should. So go on.
Hold on a minute. So,
yes, if you really want to go down that path, I can go down that path if you want.
Yeah, we can.
Go on.
Okay, so why do the traveling communities' children only do half days of school?
Because in the traveling community, you guys don't do higher education.
What,
so
no, they go
what
to
are we
the same
doing
schools
here?
As other kids. They go to the exact same school.
Okay, no, I'm answering your question that you asked me. I'm not gonna deflect. We're gonna be direct and honest. Yeah, you said, why do traveler kids do half day at school? It's because it's within your community that traveler kids do not do higher education. So, and you guys get married off at a particular age, right?
And they also have the lowest performing results at GCSEs. You know that the lowest performing results is the traveling community.
Yeah,
Irish
are you saying that
travellers.
that's not from systemic abuse of the traveling community?
And what?
No, they don't value education. Like, we're very aware of this. I think let's not act obtuse.
That's a very
Well, because you
prejudiced
just
view.
brought the fact of their children. Like, you're the one who brought that up, actually, and it is down to their culture. It is cultural. It is their cultural. Like, that's it, just for them. This is not telling any lies or not, talking down about them. It's literally cultural, Neil.
So how is that systemic? And if something's cultural, no. How is something systemic to travelers if it's your culture? Explain.
Culture can be systemic.
No. Do you know that? Otherwise, they would be the same word, right? If they meant the same thing, innit?
No, not really.
It wouldn't be two separate words if they meant the same thing. It'd be the same word. Cultural.
So you're saying that they
systemic.
choose to be lesser people? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm going to. You're. I know what you're trying to do, and it's never going to work with me. I don't need to tell you. You know. So you asked a question about, because you wanted to go down the path of the travelers community. Yeah. How many traveler children do you know that have gone past university stage?
Well, that's very ignorant of you to say so.
No. It's not about ignorant. No, it's not ignorant. It's not ignorant. It's a question. You asked me the question, why do traveler kids do a half day? I answered it. Now I'm asking you, how many traveler kids go up into higher education and university level?
Why is it
So how is it being ignorant if you ask me about kids doing half days?
Because you don't know.
I do.
No, you don't. I'm sorry.
Neil, if you know, can you answer her question then?
Am I supposed to say 50, a million, half a
So
million?
it doesn't matter if you don't know the answer. That's fine. Like, literally, it's fine.
Sorry,
you don't
I
have to pretend you know the answer.
Sorry,
but Leanne is clearly trying to ask you. Leanne is clearly trying to ask you some questions because you are the one who brought up the community.
I've met traveling people in all walks of life, whether it be bosses,
and so is every other community. So go on.
Wow.
Okay. So you
So what's
saying
your
that
point?
it's cultural that they don't want to do higher education is
No, I didn't say they don't want to. Again, it is within
you said
traveler
it's a culture.
community culture that you guys do not proceed into higher education and get married off at a particular age. Is that not correct?
Again,
Why are
you're
we
saying
denying
me,
the facts?
I'm not part of the traveling community.
So why are we talking about the traveling community then?
Because you asked about systemic issues. Okay,
Yes,
in
and
Ireland.
you opened your mouth to let's talk about travelers. I said I can happily go down that path. You're the one that brought it up. So go on.
Yeah, because we're black. We will never be bringing up Irish travelers. You're Irish, for God's sake. We would never bring up another community like this because it's not our topic.
And
Neil.
travelers do exist in the UK as well. It's not just subjected to Ireland. Just to put that in there for you.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I can't remember the question you asked for me to bring up the traveling community.
I asked you. You said you have a problem with the prompt. I'm asking you, what is your issue? You're the one that started going on about systemic cultural differences and whatnot. Let's go to your question. Your issue, you said in the comments and up on panel, is you have an issue with the prompt. What's your issue with the prompt? And stop generalizing it back to you. Let's talk about the prompt.
Okay. So why isn't it narcissism and racism, not white narcissism and racism?
So I want you right now, type in your iPhone as you're up on panel. Please type black narcissism.
In Google?
Yeah, go on.
I'm well aware. Like, do you not understand that both can be narcissists? And
No, Google.
Like
Google.
she said.
Let's go. I don't like the whole feelings thing. You want to talk about the prompt? Let's do it. You said, why is it not the...
Google it.
You said, why is it...
Google black
No, but you said, why is it not the reverse? So let's try and prove that the reverse exists. Let's Google it.
Hold on. If you're saying that there's a reverse, you're saying...
You said...
Neil, 1 minute,
Leanne,
1 minute, everybody.
Yeah,
Neil, you said it exists in the reverse. Please go and bring up the evidence that it does.
Are you saying... Oh, whoa.
No. Why are you asking questions? The
narcissists?
thing that Leanne has asked you to do, and I'm asking you to also do it, please, is go to Google and bring up some information about black narcissism. Educate us. Like literally tell us, 'cause maybe this is something that we don't know that we're doing, Neil.
narcissism is a word.
Neil, this
No,
is
but hold on.
perhaps
Have I
something
been
that
respectful?
we don't know. Neil, please, just relax. Maybe this is something that we don't know that we're doing. So you as a white person is reflecting back to us, hey, you black people, you're narcissists. Okay, bring up some resources
No,
for
I
us so
didn't
we
say
can
that.
learn from you, Neil. Bring
You
up some
literally-
resources.
Neil.
Bring up
Call
some
you
resources, Neil, so we can learn how narcissistic we are.
I did not call you narcissist. I said
No.
everybody can be a narcissist.
Okay,
Did I not?
Neil, let's stop the
Did I
BS.
not?
You said, why is it
you
not
think it's
BLK?
BS. You're
No,
being-
Neil. Hi, Neil. You
Okay.
asked us a question. Why is the prompt not in reverse? Which is why I asked you.
I did not say
Okay,
that.
cool.
I did not
You
say
did.
that. I
You
did not
literally.
say that. I
Okay,
did
everybody
not
in
say
the chat, did Neil ask us on the panel if BLK narcissism and BLK racism exists? Let's let the chat speak for itself, because apparently I have amnesia. Apparently. So I just want to see the chat, because obviously they're listening just as much as we are. I just want to make sure that we're not getting the wrong end of the stick, that you didn't ask us that question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, 1 yes, 2 yes. He absolutely did. Yes, he
It's not
did.
looking good for you, Neil. It's not looking good for you here. So everyone's saying yes, they heard you say that.
But my
So maybe
opinion-
maybe even Neil, if you didn't say black, maybe I'm just saying, but if you said the reverse is still black. Okay, it's still black. The complete opposite of white in terms of race is black. So even if you think you didn't say it, you still implied it. So again, we're asking you, or even any other race of people, right?
No.
Put any race you want to decide that's not white into Google and tell us how us as part of the global majority are also narcissists and racists. Please go ahead and
I just
do
want to
so.
know if it exists. Otherwise, I need to do some learning.
That's what I mean. Like Neil is here to educate us because he knows more than we do.
I have a question for you. Just
No,
Oh, okay.
Neil.
There's a question with another
Neil,
question.
Neil,
You
Neil,
asked me a
please,
million
please.
questions.
1 minute, Leanne.
You
1 minute,
asked
Neil.
us the question.
1 minute,
One
Leanne.
question.
Please.
Ask
1
me
minute,
one question.
Leanne. 1 minute, Neil. Please. We'll try this one more time. Otherwise, we're going to move on to anti-racist mum. She's also been really patient on that side. Neil, you implied that people from the global majority are also narcissists and racists. Please, you're in teacup now, so I'm assuming you're going to go and find some evidence for us to come and educate us on this. Neil, yes?
The word narcissism exists beyond race and color. Does it not?
That's not what you said, Neil.
Okay.
That is
Okay,
not
that's
what you
fine.
said.
Exactly what
No,
I
Fox,
look.
let's
1
even
minute,
go.
Leanne, please.
Hold on
Leanne,
for a
please,
second.
1 minute. 1 minute. Neil, I've just asked you to answer the question. You haven't been able to do so. Now we're going to go to anti-racist mum because we've been talking a lot about this.
Yeah, she's been boiling, Fox. She's ready to go.
I'm so sorry, anti-racism. I'm sorry. Go and go.
No, go like you, Miss Leanne. If you want to carry on, I can unmute again in a minute.
No, it's fine. Do you know what? I'm actually eating my butter chicken with pilau rice and naan breads that I'm highly enjoying. Go on, anti-racist
in a
mum.
minute. Like I find these man boys so irritating. Like the example of which you've got in your
Have I
box at the
abused you
moment. The most prioritized and privileged demographic on the planet, yet the most vile and violent demographic on the planet, who like to play the victim. You know, can we just start handing out nappies and soothers and bottles of milk, maybe? Because the inability to reflect on the impact of whitey culture on humanity and Mother Earth, and how these mechanisms of power prioritize and privilege this pathetic demographic of whitey males who have, I don't understand how they're such babies, really. I actually put it down to these Yahtzee parenting techniques that were started in this country that have over-coddled this demographic and led to this ego-driven, arrogant, entitled, self-absorbed character in this like most prioritized and privileged, violent demographic. Like they're destroying the world. They're destroying Mother Earth. They're the biggest perpetrators of violence towards women and children. We know this. Like the PDF class have literally been exposed, and yet they're still wondering why, why we want to talk about them as such. And they still can't reflect and align their words and actions with their supposed values. Rather, they'd want to thrash around, like the little toddlers that they are, and complain that, oh, you're talking about white people being a problem. Well, do something about it. You don't like it? Go and do something about it. Go and hold your mates accountable. Get on the front line and start lobbying for real change in our communities. Dismantle the systems of oppression all around us, because you're at the top of the tree, the hierarchy of humanity when you're a whitey male, the most prioritized and privileged demographic on the planet. The world was built with you in mind. Every other human has to suffer oppression because of the YT male. Narcissism came, like Autonomy is saying in the chat, narcissism came from colonialism and racism, and yet you, the most prioritized and privileged demographic on the planet, want to cry about anybody trying to create equity. You shout that you care about equality, yet you do the utmost to keep people oppressed underneath you. It is really why the world is crumbling, because of these mediocre, prioritized and privileged whitey males that have got no backbone, no moral compass, no integrity, and the inability to tell the truth, and the inability to be accountable, the inability to reflect on your impact and align as such with becoming a valuable member of society. Like collectively, these white narcissists bring less value to humanity than a bloody tampon. I'm so sick of them.
Oh, not
can I say something real quick? Just
No. I think Ems wants to say something next.
Go ahead,
She's the
Em.
host. Please respond.
To be fair, Fox, I was just enjoying anti-racist mom just monologuing, to be fair. I was enjoying it. But yeah, let Neil come in if he wants.
Can I ask, have I called you any names? Have I abused you? Have I lessened you on anything?
You've individualized it again as a typical narcissist. Get over yourself. You're from the collective of the most privileged and prioritized demographic on the planet. I'm not talking about you as an individual. Stop internalizing everything and grow up, you muppet.
Saying things. I'm sorry, but you are. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm still confused how you haven't answered the question. So what's wrong with the prompt?
Okay. Yeah. Can I interject here for 1 second? So you said, can you give me an example of how I was rude, or have I said anything? I'll tell you how it was rude. When you first came up on the panel, when Leanne was trying to speak, you kept on interjecting her.
Oh, did I? My apologies if I did. I didn't mean to.
I'm so used to it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're aware, Neil, that if you interject or overspeak over someone of a person of color, that is actually deemed as racism. And if you don't want to take my word for it, I'm sure anti-racism can expand on it a little bit more than I can.
Could I not be just talking over them because I think they're wrong?
But you can admit you didn't interrupt Ems once just now, right?
Yeah, I didn't interrupt him once because he said that he had a statement to say, did he not? So I listened, which people should do more.
Including yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I was listening.
Not when I was talking and Fox was talking, though.
Yeah, because you called me pathetic.
I didn't call you pathetic.
No.
Oh, no, sorry, Miss did. Sorry, Auntie Mom did. Or Auntie, yeah, I can't see your full name.
She's on the other side.
Anti-racist mum.
Anti-racist mom.
Yeah, so Neil, the reason why you were called up here, right? Again, we still haven't got to the crux
I told
of the
you
issue.
why. I feel like sorry.
Oh, look, you interrupted me.
Sorry, I said sorry.
Oh, yeah, you see, now that you're going to start to learn a little bit again now, reflect upon your own behaviour. You were called out in the chat for being racist. To be honest, I haven't even seen what you said because there's been a lot of conversation down there. You came up here and tried to say that you weren't racist, but yet you haven't done anything or shown anything to prove that you haven't been racist. And you've made some other statements that we've asked you to clarify what they mean, and you still haven't been able to do that. So again, this boils down to white people just wanting to be in black and brown spaces.
When I came in, when I joined the panel, Okay, I asked you how I'm racist, and you ignored that completely.
No, the question, you were already, like Leanne said, I don't like going around in circles about this because Leanne had already covered that point with you. That question was already asked to you in the panel, in the chat. So we wanted to move on to something more interesting. That's it. Just move on, move forward. You already received that answer, but you weren't able to go to the next level and actually engage in an adult conversation with us. You haven't been able to do so. Right,
No,
I've got someone else who actually wants to come up on the panel on this side. So we do actually only have 2 spaces. Neil, I am going to drop you now. If you want to go to Em's side and come up, thank you for that. I'm just going to bring up the next person who wants to
follow Ems.
Yeah, so guys, yes, please do follow Ems, please. Again, like was it Leanne? Yeah, Leanne, you said this earlier, is that we do, of course, only have 2 spaces. When you do a joint live, there's only 2 spaces to come up onto the panel. So if you want to come up and speak and you see that there's a space, because of course there's a space on Ems's side now, please do go to his side. Please do follow him as well and make your request so you can actually come up and speak on the panel. Thank you so much. So we got KBJ. Oh, so go on, Ems.
I just wanted to say one thing. So Autonomy made put something in the comments which I agree with, to be fair. Racism is systematic, taught in UK schools and TV, etc. We have to dismantle it.
Agree.
I will agree with that comment.
Yeah, most definitely.
Now I'm having my cup of tea. That's what you call diversity.
International gal. Right, we got KBJ on the panel. KBJ, how are you?
I'm all right. Before I'll say anything, I don't have the command over the language as you are, so I hope you slowly listen to me a bit. Okay, with regard to what my dear sister, anti-racist moms, one of the ladies I follow a lot, and I'm learning so many things from her. And one thing I want to say is sometimes she says the whitey men. I think that equally the women, historically and even present, who also have privilege to join the whitey men, are also capable in perpetuating all this racist everywhere, not only in the UK but even across the globe, including my country or my continent, Africa, and my country, Ghana, where I come from. And when we look at history, which we can see today, when we look at the time that Queen Elizabeth, when he was, let's start with Victoria, when he was a queen in England, look at the historical atrocities and heinous crimes that he committed. If you look at that, we can bring that recently to our recent Queen Elizabeth, who died recently. When he became a queen, look at the atrocities that happened, though we are under Commonwealth. I come from Ghana. Nigeria, Mandela was in prison. Africa, look at how many assassinations, coup d'etat. The whole Africa was balkanized. Even when we were having, trying to have freedom from the colonialism we experienced from 18-something when they met somewhere in Berlin with the help of the religious leaders and whatever. What happened? When we had independence, for example, Ghana, we had independence in 1957, our Nigeria, 1960s, Mandela was in prison, Mugabe. Who was the queen in this country? Queen Elizabeth. What happened? So he was culpable. Fine, sometimes we don't reflect about that. Let's pick recently an example that happened in Libya. Let's look at Hillary Clinton. When they organized the Libya, instability, which was led by our brother Barack Obama, Britain, France, and other countries. When Brother Gaddafi was unalive with the support of, these white women and men, if you Google, look at what Mrs. Hillary Clinton said. We came, we saw, he died. Look at how Gaddafi was brutally unalive. Let's go to Madeleine Albright. When he was UN U.S. Secretary General, when the women here, if you go to, for example, the British Parliament, the women over here, there, how many of them, when they try to go to unalive people around the world through wars, how many women will vote against? Let's look at their voting record. All of them support. I'm just trying to internationalize what my sister is talking about. So not only my point is not only the men, but equally women who also join. The men, if they had the opportunity, they would have done the same thing. And I remember Madeleine Albright when they said over 50,000 or whatever people died in Iraq when they were exchanging food for oil. Madeleine Albright, if you Google, he said, "Oh, it is worth they died." The children, women, they were bombing them. He was supporting them. Look at our own lady over here recently during the Iraq War. What's her name? I think she wanted to become a prime minister. She was involved. What's her name? Sorry.
Suella Braverman.
Thank you very much. Look at what he's saying. And equally, there's another lady. George Galloway. There was a question time somewhere on George Galloway said, "You contributed to the 1 million people who died in Iraq." So what I'm trying to say with my poor English language is, the women too, when they had the opportunity, even recently when our children are dying, because I'm a socialist who follow Jeremy Corbyn, follow anti-racist mom, follow all the socialist people around the world. I'm talking about the vulnerable people, poor people, all over the world, India, Africa, this country, whatever. What happened was that when there was another woman who was a U.S. Secretary General, whatever, she went and wrote the bomb that America was going to at that time. The president who was there before our present president, what's her name? Before the current president in the U.S. came.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah, exactly. This woman wrote the bomb that they were sending to Israel to go and bomb our Palestinians, women and children. So my point is, to some extent, even those people, the feminists, who are saying they are fighting for the liberation of women, when our child in our teenager in London recently, when the police said she was in her menstrual period, if you remember, when they said they were searching for cannabis or something of that sort, do you remember how many women came out?
Yeah.
To
The most annoying thing about that for me is I've been a Green voter for 10 years, and I even spoke to one of the black MPs in London. I can't remember his name at the time. I said, "Why is it that you're the only person speaking about this?" And he didn't even realise he was the only person. None of the other Green Party leaders or any, I think at the time it was Caroline Lucas at the time. I said, "How come nobody else is speaking about this?" And he went, "Oh, you're right, actually." But yeah, you've made so many good points. And actually there is more that I want, and I keep saying this because on my old channel I did do some videos about even going back to Queen Victoria, about how they did have feminine matriarchal leaders of the UK, right, who were supposed to be these innocent women, but actually were causing at the face of so much abuse in our countries. And Queen Elizabeth I and II was obviously part of that too. I don't know if you also know this, KBJ, that there was the remains of an Ethiopian prince that was kidnapped. I don't know if you know the story. He's actually buried. Yeah, so they kidnapped him, and I can't remember the year that this happened. And they manipulated him from a very young age to hand over his wealth to the British Empire, because I think they unalived his father. That's another pre-story. Yeah, there's another pre-story regarding that part. But they basically kidnapped him, and they ended up just unaliving him. And the myth or the fact, we don't know what it is true, but now of course with all this stuff coming out, we know that white people consumed black people. The story is that they actually consumed this poor boy. I think he passed away at 15 or something, and when the Ethiopian government asked for his body back, they refused, but then eventually they can only give him his hair because of why? You can't eat the hair, you know, and his burial ground is within Windsor Castle. So guys, I mean, I've been to Windsor Castle once, but which is annoying for me, because if I saw that there and if I knew that at the time, I definitely would have stood and started screaming from the top of my lungs that this poor black kid was buried here, and just refused to have any parts of it. Actually, I think eventually they did manage to give some parts, but again, it was mostly hair that went back. But anti-racist mum, I think you want to come in here to talk about white feminism and.
I have a real issue with white feminism. Actually, I was talking about this yesterday.
Thank you, my sisters. Thank you.
My radio show, because I was doing my show on Beyond the Axis of Evil yesterday, and I was saying, you know, this is why I'm the anti-racist mum, because, you know, whitey males lack the capacity for anything, okay? Let's face it, they can't even put their socks in a laundry basket if you live in a house with them. They're like completely the most incompetent, you know, as much use as a chocolate teapot. We know that statistically women do the bulk of the child rearing work, and we also know that globally we're run by a prolific, vile, deplorable PDF network, okay? And we also know that in this country, up until 1991, grape was legal in marriage, and it is now again legal. So this is the context in which whitey women are working within. We are oppressed by the most prioritised and privileged demographic on the planet, who are, we know, the most vile and violent demographic on the planet, because we know that they're the most vile and violent demographic on the planet at a macro level because of all the invasions that they've done of countries and all the colonialism, and at a micro level and an interpersonal level, they are the most vile and violent demographic on the planet, because they consistently prove to us that they, you know, cannot hold a conversation, that they are, you know, unaliving one woman every 3 days, and that grape is again legal in this country because we have the biggest criminal gang in this country paid for out of our council tax, enabling the legalization of grape. So women, there is, you know, we often hear about fight and flight in terms of our emotional responses, but there's also fawn and flop, but it's basically women are essentially the victims of patriarchy too. So I need to and white women uphold patriarchy as a way of protecting themselves, as a trauma response essentially to the way that they're raised. Freeze and fawn. So it's fawn. We fawn rather than take action, which is why I run workshops to empower, you know, men who are unlearning their misogyny and unlearning like their racism are welcome to join it, but you know, predominantly my focus is on whitey women unlearning, you know, building the capacity to challenge the narrative, building the capacity to sit in our discomfort, building the capacity so that when we're on a train and there's a group of men, whitey men, abusing someone, rather than us sitting on that train and thinking in our heads, oh my God, that's terrible, I feel sorry for that woman or those children, we actually have the confidence to disrupt that narrative. And that is what I'm fighting for anyway, and trying to do as a piece of work, because I fully recognise that the biggest barrier to real equity in this country is us whitey people, and I fully recognise that, you know, whitey males are completely inept, incapable, mediocre, you know, because of whitey women. That is again another parenting strategy. You know, we see these whitey women that over coddle these little man babies, which is why they play the victim all the time, because they've got no resilience to any kind of critique of their individualism. They can't, and we saw that last guy, you know, they can't even cope with being identified as a collective and talked about collectively, this emotional constipation. So it has to be whitey women that do the unlearning, that learn to sit in that discomfort, that build their capacity so that they can challenge in their homes their pathetic little man boy husbands, so that they can, in their workplace, because they are bloody everywhere now, aren't they? Well, whitey women are everywhere. So in their workplaces, they can hold their colleagues accountable and challenge the narratives and make sure, you know, go and challenge their supervisor or their bosses or their HR department. Make sure that you know, and I've lost many a job for challenging the narrative. It's a regular occurrence for me. But, you know, I won't stop, because actually I don't care if I put you in discomfort as a YT mention. You know, I worked for a charity once that told me we're inclusive, we work, you know, they worked across a local authority area, and I said to them, but you've got no global majority staff, you've got no global majority trustees, you've got no global majority volunteers. And they went, yeah, well, no one applies to them. I was like, have you ever thought about why? Have you ever thought about how hostile this environment is? How the wording that you use in your advertising and on your website is alienating and actually demoralizing to any professional from a global majority background that was interested in applying for a role here. Like the tone, all the pictures on the website make the organization feel unsafe for people from global majority backgrounds to apply for those jobs. So it's got to be us that dismantles this narrative, because, you know, otherwise the white emails will just continue, won't they? And the other thing is, I really quite enjoy making YT men uncomfortable. Like, I think that that's got to be the role in society. I do keep saying that I think we need an amendment to the Firearms Act, and I need to explore that further, because I really feel like we're at this pinnacle of evolution now where, you know, we've had hundreds of centuries of this from white males, and they've just got to be removed, really, haven't they? They're the biggest. They're just a pain. They're just a pain.
I'm just going to thank you, Anti-Racist Mum. I've just had to drop a couple of people because I've got new requests on this side. Leanne and also KBJ, thank you so much. I didn't mean to just do it without saying anything, but yeah, thank you. You've gone on this side. Perfect. Again, guys, there's only two spaces on each panel. So we've got a new rotation now on this side. Thank you so much. So yes, KBJ, hopefully that answers some of your concerns, but yes, I have to be neutral on this. What I've definitely been finding is that when we're talking about racism, and as you've seen, the men have come up, have been incredibly defensive, and that's even before anything has even been said to them. KBJ, I hope you're still here. The white men are so unwilling a lot of the time to even want to be educated in these conversations. There's been more of a percentage of white women actually coming into these spaces and understanding more of the things that they need to do to unpack, like Anti-Racist Mum has said. More women, I think, right? Wasn't it, Anti-Racist Mum, from the last conversations we had from the last few weeks, more women have been joining from that shit that happened.
Yeah, and the reason women, this is why, because YT men are so detached from reality and their impact and their existence as the most prioritized and privileged demographic on the planet. This is what I'm experiencing with YT women that are married to YT men, that they care about their children so much and the world that their children are entering, but the YT males lack even the cognitive ability to consider how their impact and the language that they use when they parrot propaganda in front of their kids impacts those children and how their children show up in the world.
Steph has just said you had one man in most of your sessions and two men in one session. The rest were white women. Yeah, again, this is a very big thing what humanity is going through. It's that women generally, we know, are more empathetic and tied to the creation of Earth, you know, and they're more willing to be more understanding about humans and the community that they live in. So generally, all movements actually are going to have women at the forefront of things. And I think it is definitely a good thing, of course, for us to know from the global majority that there are more white women who are coming on board with this and actually understanding that the things that they need to do in their privilege. And of course, you have somebody like Anti-Racist Mum who has the time and the patience and the resources to help white women and white men unpack their internalized misogyny, because they also talk about misogyny and internalized racism, whether you realize that you might be actively racist or passively racist, or understand that the country that you grew up in, or if you come from a white country that's majority white country, your country was built on racism. It was built on racism. So it's up to you to kind of understand where all of those pieces fit into the puzzle and the reason why Black and brown people are still having to talk about racism today. Because if you solve the problem, we wouldn't be having the discussion. Right, we've got Rabbi now on this side. Rabbi.
Shalom, guys. I've been listening to what
does that mean? I don't know what that means.
A
What does that
goy
mean?
is a goyim. You're a goyim. Yeah, it just means you're a non-Jew. Like, it just means you're a
Well,
non-Jew.
why? No, don't call me that, please. My name is Fox. I don't know what that means. So I'm
sorry,
not gonna be-
Fox. I didn't know what to call you. I just addressed you in my religious way.
Okay. Carry on with the
Okay.
conversation.
Auntie, you've made a lot of points, right? And I think some of them are a bit disingenuous, especially with what you say about white men and how they've got no superiority. So if you want to look at it from a advancement point of view, whites have definitely been a lot more advanced than black people. So
Disconnected. We don't do that shit here. Right. Okay. We've got 9 other.
I don't know. You probably can't see the comments on this side, but as soon as he's a Zio, he's a pathetic man, baby Zio. You know, from
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't give them no attention. We've already done a lot of humiliation and things, but if you go to that level, you're out. And even so, you are now. Let me click. You are gone. You're blocked. Goodbye. Okay. Right. We've got 9 Ether on the platform now. 9 Ether, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, sister. Thanks for letting me up.
That's
Greetings
okay. It's been a
to
while.
everyone.
We've spoken before, haven't we? But a long time ago. I
Yes,
think.
yes, we have. I love your work, sister. I think what you're doing is really amazing.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. What would you like to add
Right.
to the topic today?
Okay. Yeah. Firstly, I wanna address that small hat guy that came up here and called us goyim, right? He called us that because they see us as a cattle, right? That word means cattle. Anyone who does not believe in the Talmud and their religion, they call us cattle. Not only Africans, everyone in the world, right? If you are not a part of their religion, you are cattle, and you are fit to be unalived. That's what they believe. Okay, what I wanted to say, sister,
Just on
when
that
I
note,
came
just
up here
because
was
just 1 minute. Sorry to interrupt. Just because you did bring up the guy again, and normally I do try to move on from these people, but of course we are actually tackling racism and white narcissism directly. So I want you guys to actually understand. Like we talked about boundaries earlier, right? So there are some racists that do come up that we take the piss out of them and we just like laugh, we humiliate them. But others, when they go past the boundary line, like that person did, it's an immediate block, right? So I really want black and brown people to be very aware. Like, as I've said, it's like you need to really know where your own boundary is. If they go past the line, don't let them siphon your energy. Don't let them take up any of your time. Like, move the fuck on, because the problem is for them is they really thrive on the attention. Right. And that makes you go down, like, for example, so me and Leanne, we definitely saw this week, right, where one of our brothers, unfortunately, did go down by being very sucked in by a racist. Yeah, me and Leanne saw this firsthand, and it was really quite disappointing to see. Where if black men and black women are so triggered by racists, you go off of the path of what we're trying to do here, right? We're trying to come up more as people in this bloody white Western world that we've ended up in, even though we didn't want to bloody be here. We've ended up being here. So we need to make this shit work for us when we live in this part of the world. I don't live there anymore because I left. But, you know, for those of us who are still there, that you need to make sure that at any time, and that's why we've been talking about ways that we handle racists, is humiliate them, make them look stupid, literally show them for exactly what they are, which is so pathetic, so uneducated, got nothing but racism in their flag. You know, you really show them that, and we already see these things, right? We already see that, like, I think, Leanne, you said this earlier, this is something, of course, that we're recognizing as black and brown people, is that we are excelling in the system that is not set up for us. So imagine their brains, their body, their heads are like, like how is that possible that the oppressed people in the country of the oppressor are doing better than us. It doesn't make sense. Like their heads are just fucked, you know? So that's why we have to keep empowering ourselves. That's why we keep laughing, keep our humor up, keep our path, like stay on the goddamn path. Don't come off the path. Don't get sucked into petty arguments with racists. Like just don't fucking do it. Like make your jokes, laugh about it, call them out for their shit and move the fuck on. Like just move on. Don't get sucked into it.
Do you know what, Fox? I'm just going to say one thing.
1 minute, Eva. Don't talk over the host, please. 9 Eva. This is Ems. It's the host on the other side.
I'll be quick. And then, so when that person came up on the panel, he obviously went for anti-racism. I'm saying that I think she's being disingenuous. But when he made when he stated that phrase, and then when he tried to explain the definition of that, he was being disingenuous because he wasn't actually given the true definition or the meaning behind that word until 9 Ether obviously came up and explained what the actual meaning of that word was. So for him to kind of claim that anti-racist is disingenuous when he's obviously giving a completely different definition of what the actual phrase means, is disingenuous in itself.
The hypocrisy of racists. That's another thing we need to add.
That's right, brother.
The things that they do. 9 Ether. Yes. So what do you want to add?
Yeah. I hear you, sister, and I agree with what you just said. Right? They love to suck our energy. They love to drain your energy. You know, it's like they get a high off of antagonizing melanated people. So I agree. Yeah, what I came up here to say is this, right? I feel that black people or our people, right? I think you know what I mean when I say that. We have been through a lot, right? 500 years, almost to 1,000 years of, Arab slave trade, right? YT slave trade, right? So we've been through a lot through throughout history. What I have to say is this, sister. I feel that
modern history. Let me just correct you there. This is modern history, not our entire history, because of course we were queens. Right. We had gold and salt trade. We were trading technology. All of these things only in the last 1,000 years. And humanity, I thought it was 300,000 years old. I think humanity was actually like 900,000 years old or something. So we've been here a long freaking time. Just this short period of time here was our struggle. It is not the entirety of our history. But so that's why we are coming out of that shit now and empowering ourselves again. We're powering ourselves again.
They disturbed all of that. Yeah, they disturbed all of that, right? And then that's how right now we are looked at as the scar on the earth as Africans, because we are trying to pick up the pieces of what their forefathers did, right? The damage that was done. So what I'm saying is this: I truly feel that I know that YT people, the majority of YT people will never look at melanated people like. The same members of the human family. They'll never look at us like that, right? But I want to clarify that there are some good YT people, right? There are some genuine and righteous YT people, but they are a minority, right? And they don't stand to fight for the principles of righteousness, to destroy racism, white supremacy, and whatever, right? So at the end of the day, we can't say that. My point is this: for all that we have to do as black people is to learn to have the ability to self-preserve, to preserve ourselves, right? Because all the reasons why these people have done all of these things to us is because they are saying that they want to preserve their culture, they want to preserve their future, their fate, right? So let's learn to develop the same energy that they give out towards us. The only time you should be righteous as an African, as a black person, as a melanated person, the only time you should be nice and courteous and respectful is to someone who looks like you, right? 500 years of African slavery should show us that these people are not our friends. 300 years of apartheid in Southern Africa, these people are not our friends. This is a real evidence. Right? So we can't just go along and say, we all bleed the same, we are all together, let's unite, right? No, we are not, because this world was built on white and black. They had to be black so that they could be white. They had to be white so that they could be black, right? This is the basis of the systems that we live in right now. So this is to my folks, right? Please, it's not wrong to act to act out your natural instincts as an African person, to protect yourself when you are being attacked, to revenge, right? To be angry. It's natural.
Because I don't want the live to be shut down. Like, I don't want us to feel like we're actually inciting anything. Let me just just say that the points you are making are, of course, in defense of the atrocities that Black people have felt and experienced for hundreds and hundreds of years. What we're trying to do here, of course, is energy match. And because as Black people and as, you know, a Black community, Black diaspora, us as people have been generally very welcoming to white people. Of course we were. That's why we allowed them to be in our lands. Of course, they decided to use things like narcissism, racism, gaslighting, manipulation. And so now what we have to do, of course, as Black people, is be more willing to defend ourselves, because we haven't really defended ourselves a lot. We've been trying to project our kindness onto white people, and of course they've taken advantage of that. So what Nine Ether, of course, is trying to say is that we need to actually, as I said, and as he said, is energy match. Don't assume nowadays that white people are on your side. Just don't assume it. I don't assume it. I let them show themselves for who they are. And then, I mean, because we've even had this experience. Yeah, I don't know where Nine Ether has gone. I don't know if he got a violation. I don't think so. I didn't get a notification here. I don't know why he's disappeared. Yeah, so I mean, we've definitely found ourselves disappointed. We had a white male ally on this platform, you know, 4 weeks ago, or however many weeks ago it is, who greatly disappointed us as Black women, you know, greatly disappointed us. So we don't let white people, we don't afford the kindness now to white people. We let them prove themselves to us, to be like, yeah, you know what, we're actually going to be doing the work, and we're having more consciousness about the ways that we're tackling our narcissism and racism. I say this on my lives, I only have 2 white friends. How pathetic is that, right? That you could be a Black person who's 42 years old and only have 2 white friends. This world is full of billions of people. I have 2 white friends. Again, I will talk about them. One's English, she gets it. Another one is German, she gets it. If you're not that, we don't do it. And somebody made a comment on this side, Ems, and we talked about this on a live a few weeks ago about dating the oppressor, right? We had that as our topic. And then somebody in the comment section was saying, yeah, but you guys date white people. Well, yeah, because we don't discriminate like you discriminate against us. Of course we date them. But for me, and the experiences I talked about a few weeks ago, is I found that white men just don't fucking get it. Like, Anti-Racist Mum has been very clear about what white men are like, about their lack of intelligence, about their lack of progression. And we see this generally with dating anyway, but particularly white men in UK. Again, I'm doing, look, you see me already, I'm like.
I took a deep breath as well at the same time.
Yeah, you see, when we start talking about men and English men, it's like, my energy completely goes down. Like, you guys are such draining. So I don't date white. I don't choose who I want to date, right? You come to me with the right energy and the right education, whatever skin color you're in, it's cool. But generally, I found white men to be very ignorant, incredibly ignorant, and incredibly narcissistic. So again, they have even more work to do to come up to someone like me's level. And that's that. That's that. Leanne.
Oh yeah, sorry, because you know, I'm gonna go back on your side in a minute. Sorry, Ems, I just like her comment section. But
go for it.
I'm sorry, I'm doing both sides, you know. So I liked when Uncle K came up, because he was bringing up a lot of like historical points, and I wanted to remind people that
restriction. Do you just get the same thing, Ems?
You got a restriction?
Yeah, from you apparently. It said you got a violation for hate speech.
What did did you say the word with the H in front?
No.
That I'm confused then. Unless it was
I said men were narcissistic and something else. And
the guy that just dropped. The guy that just dropped, he said the word hate. If you say HATE, sometimes it flags it straight away. Because I've been.
But that was a delay though. It must have been for me though, I think. For something he did apparently. Ellis said that he said something. Okay.
Guys, tap the screen so that restricts and gets removed.
Yeah. Please, guys, this is what happens. If our lives get restricted, if somebody gets a violation, and also annoyingly so, it means that we can't actually upload the lives as well. If somebody has a restriction or something, or their account gets shut down, we can't download and upload sometimes. So please do tap the live, tap and share, tap and thingy. Please do give, thank you, share it, gift it, all of those things. Now we need to really do the work. Hi, Leanne, good to see you. Please protect the live, because it was obviously going really well, and I'm really enjoying the conversation. So I hope everybody else is as well. Thank you. Right, Leanne, carry on.
I was gonna say I liked when Uncle K came up. Firstly, I could hear the Ghanaianness just in his voice. I was like, yes, Uncle, automatic follow. But when he brought history, it was really nice to hear, because I think when people think, this rhetoric of racism was 200 years ago, I wanted to add on to his point, because I want everyone to remember. Does no one remember the orange man? Okay, guys, correct me in both chats because I don't remember what country it was. The orange man, did he not go to a country and kidnap their own leader and put him in custody to take over their own? That was
Venezuela.
So when you was talking about the prince in Windsor Castle, I was thinking, but Donald Trump literally just did that not that long ago whatsoever. So that's history repeating itself. And then for those that are thinking, again, it's 200 years ago. Hurricane Melissa happened. Everybody knows how to do press tour in the Caribbean because they're in the Commonwealth. Everyone remembers when they're in the Commonwealth and they fly on their private jet to the Caribbean to do their little handshake and just show face. But there was a whole hurricane that he is still the king of. Where was he? Where was he? Where was his little silly Camilla? Yeah, where was the whole gang? Where were they? Where was the squad? The squad didn't pull up, but they always pull up for a press tour in the Caribbean. And they still haven't donated a penny, by the way, to this day. Wherever day we're on right now, they still haven't donated a penny. So when I hear
it was still it was £250,000, I think, and that is it. That's nothing, man. I mean, our houses are worth more. Can you imagine that?
In Buckingham Palace, the little gold speck on one of the railings. That's like, oh man.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. Right, we've got Mr. State on this side. Mr. State, what would you like to add to the conversation, Mr. State?
Yes. I just wanted to say, because I'm an African and I'm also racist, so I just want to say not just white people can be racist. Black people can also be racist. I'm a proud racist.
Excuse me, sir. What is wrong with your head?
What do you mean?
You need to go to a doctor immediately. That is your opening statement, and you don't even think that's a problem. You didn't even want to address the prompt. You came here immediately saying that about yourself. This is not the space for you. Please go and speak to a mental health professional, because that's fucked up. I dropped you immediately. We ain't like that here. I'm a proud Black woman. I don't do the work of white supremacy. Neither do the people on the panel here. This is not the space for you. Please. You got some therapy to go to for real. And I don't know if you are African. Obviously, I don't know. I don't know who you are. I just saw your profile picture there. You could be pretending, because people are good at accents as well. So I don't know. But even if you are if you're a Black person, that's fucked up. If you're a white person posing as a Black person, that's of course fucked up as well. So everything about you was fucked up.
Yeah, the thing is, I know of him and I'm shaking my head at you, Dennis, man. You had one job, Dennis, because I don't know if he was in his trolling spirit, but like him on his other account, he actually speaks a lot on Nigerian politics. So like, why, man? Why? I'm side-eyeing you right now.
Yeah. Okay, so people know him in the chat here. Kruger and Rasta Pinky are saying Dennis. Pedro says Dennis again.
Like Dennis, man. He actually like, he's funny. I'll give him that. When he trolls, he's actually funny, yeah. But like when he's being serious about like politics, he proper gets into it. So I was thinking, okay, I'm side-eyeing you that you're up on panel, but please don't come and disrespect it. And that was what you had to say, my friend. Oh, why, man? Because now these whitey people are going to run with it, man. Oh,
But you see, again, this is what we're talking about here, guys. Boundaries. If you find yourself as a black or brown person and you have a black person telling you that they think that they're racist, cut that shit off.
Yeah.
Cut it off. Don't engage. Don't go down that route, because again, it's the work of white narcissism. The only people that end up winning from these conversations are the white narcissists, and we're trying to get ourselves from underneath that structure. Okay? So don't engage. You guys here often when you come to my lives, you see the block is the cut is we don't do that shit here. We do not do that shit here. We stay on the conversation and we try to move forward. That's what we're about here. Moving forward. So yes, the topic, guys, for those of you who are still with us and those of you who are still joining us, thank you for being here. It is black and brown people standing on the neck of white narcissism and racism. We've definitely had a really good and engaging conversation. Mr. State wants to know why I dropped him. I told you, get therapy. This is not the space for you, sir. This is not the space for you. You need to go to a doctor. I said it very clearly so you could understand why you're asking the same question again. So generally, as black and brown people, of course, we have grown up in the system of whiteness in the UK. And generally, of course, even if you are still in the continent, in the motherland of Africa, if you're in Asia, in India, you still have a lot of white systems to actually come out of. And so, of course, we see people like that who are still under white narcissism and racism, where they start to also uphold it. Actually, I am quite pleased that we did have a brother up here who was still pushing the same narrative, because again, this keeps us very aware on who our, who's part of the family, right? Who's part of the family of humanity. We cannot let people, regardless of their skin color, be involved in our conversation and what we're trying to do as humans just because of their skin color. I don't automatically see Mr. State as a brother of mine because he's black. He came up here and said some anti-black shit straight away. Not a brother. Not a brother, not a brother. So everybody, please, the word is discernment. The word is discernment. So please understand what that is. Right, Ems, you got someone new on your side.
Yeah, Logan, feel free to say what you want on the prompt. All I ask is just be respectful and don't overspeak the host or when someone else is obviously talking. Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. Hi everyone. Yes,
Hello.
yes, it's black and brown people standing on the neck of white narcissism and racism. Well, at the end of the day, yes, this is what is going on, and I think the people, you lot should just be separated. Segregation will be the best answer. He's not coming from.
Ems, right? You see how long, Ems? You see how long it took him to stumble out the same copy and paste rhetoric we've heard a million times. See how long it took him to.
He's not coming from a racist point of
I
view.
want to hear everything you've got
It's
to
not
say.
coming from a racist
He
point of
really
view.
struggled. He struggled to be like segregation.
Wait, I want to hear everything you've got to say.
He's not coming from a racist point of view.
I want to have a conversation with you.
My sister's got kids. My sister's got kids with a BLK man.
Logan, go on, Logan.
So I'm not racist. No, I'm not
No,
racist. My
it's fine.
sister's.
No,
I'm not
Logan.
racist.
Logan.
Go on, finish your sentence because I actually want to have a conversation with you. Go on. So go on. Segregation. Go on.
Yeah, it would be a good, because obviously I'm not racist. My sister's got kids with a
Stop
BLK
saying
man.
that. You're only lying to yourself, Logan, and lying is a sin. Lying is a sin.
Why would I
Don't say
lie?
that. Don't let those words leave your mouth ever again. Now continue.
Okay, no problem. Well, why I say we should call for segregation is because with all the different ethnic minorities, Britain should be for English natives.
Okay.
The English natives. So we don't want them here anymore. We don't want you. I'll be honest with you. We don't. London. You've lot took London, Birmingham, Leeds, all the main cities. Yes, you've lot taken it. And now the thing is, with all,
Take it.
No, it's not yours to be taken. You lot are gonna.
Oh, but Logan, you're only talking about English natives. English people came from where? Northern Europe. They came from Germany. So actually, if you said British, I would have been a bit more like, oh, you know what? Maybe he's talking about the Scottish, he's talking about the Welsh, he's talking about the Irish, the people who are Celtic and actually have a real history tied to the land. But you came here saying you're English. So you, sir, are a descendant of what? Invaders and immigrants. And also on this side of the chat, they're very much cooking you by your choice of words. You said tucken. Where have you ever heard that tucken is a word? So we talked about the working class before a little bit. We talked about the GCSE results.
Yeah.
And the fact that English people have been very much left behind by their own education system. So how interesting is it that your people came and invaded Britain, right? You came and invaded Britain. You created this education system, but the people who suck at the education the most is English people. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Well, it's more of us, and you guys are racist.
Logan, and you came up here being like, yeah, I've got a black nephew, but I don't want him in the country, but I'm not racist.
Okay, I'm gonna use a different example here. Yeah, hopefully
Logan kind of baboon that's laughing.
Guys, wait a second, because Logan, you didn't.
They got no sense.
You just want to stir up racial hatred.
Logan, because I'm trying to get into your head for a second. You was talking on segregation, but you didn't finish the sentence. I really want to hear how segregation might help before I try and talk to you. Go on.
It will help. What you in the interracial relationship? Is that why you
said no? You said I don't know why this is a thing in this country. We should go back to segregation. So I want to understand why, in your opinion, we should go back to segregation. Go on.
Because the natives want to live a life in peace and harmony, and the outsiders, the invaders, want to live a life full of crime.
Sorry, not to cut you. I'm just trying to understand your language. So can you just clarify for me who's a native and who's an invader? I just want to wrap my head around it. Who's a native, sorry?
Basically the white population, the English.
The English, so the English people are the natives, and who are the invaders you're talking about?
All the other people that's non-white.
Oh, okay, cool. Continue. Go on.
So that the natives and the invaders, what it is, we want to live in peace and harmony. We want to get along with everyone.
But Logan, right, how are you going to live in peace and harmony when you've been fighting yourselves this whole entire time? You, as the Anglo-Saxon tribe, you came and you really disrespected the Celtic people who live in the country. You've also gone on to invade 171 countries. So what the fuck are you talking about, sir?
We went to other countries to help them. They were living in. You lot were living in mud huts.
Okay. Listen, Logan. What does the word invade mean? Because you brought it up. You brought up the word invade, right? You're saying that we're invading the countries, okay? And you don't like it. You don't like that. You feel your country is being invaded. So you thought that you did what? You didn't invade when you actually went to these countries? Is that what you genuinely think?
No, we didn't. We brought civilization. We helped.
What civilization did you think you brought then, Logan?
We bought buildings. We bought
so buildings
houses.
never existed. Buildings never existed before you came along.
No, they didn't actually. You can go.
So there was not the Mali Library of the year 3000 BC, I think it is. The Mali Library of Timbuktu actually has the biggest record, biggest library in actually almost the history of the world. Where do you think these were stored? Not in buildings.
No, they weren't stored.
They're not stored in a building.
No, it wasn't stored in buildings actually.
Where was it then? You tell me. Where are these books stored?
It was stored in like.
I'm trying my best here.
Like it was the stored places. I don't know where it was stored.
Oh, it was stored places, Logan. It was stored places. So interesting, Logan. You know what's embarrassing, Logan, is that you actually don't have the ability to feel embarrassment. Like it's
No,
it's actually
you're just a
the thing
racist.
is
You're
when
just a
you're
racist.
when you're actually empathetic as a person, you feel empathy and you actually feel embarrassment for another person.
But you're
And
racist.
I'm sure there's a lot of
Does that
people
make
who
you feel
probably
better
feel
saying it
embarrassment
or
for you.
something?
But I'm not saying that I feel embarrassment for you, Logan. I'm not saying that at all. I'm actually
So
laughing.
you're
Clearly.
coming on. So you're
So
coming on this like.
Logan, what you're doing now is you're playing the race card, but you're not even embarrassed enough to admit that you're playing the race card. You're saying that I'm being racist, but I'm not actually said anything about white people or anything like that, and especially not said it to you. So why would you go and play the race card now?
Because I know you lot stance on things. I know you lot.
Logan,
Oh,
can I
do
talk to you? Can I please? I'm literally dancing in my chair.
So this is the
Trying to
thing.
be cool.
1 minute, Leanne Ems.
This is
Bringing
the
in
bit when he says,
trees. Right.
I know you lot. Based upon the fact that he just came up on this live and met us for the first time. I mean, you must have some psychic powers if you know us very well from just a very brief interaction. But okay, now I'm gonna go with something else, a different analogy here. Yeah, okay. Let's say because you're saying that I can't be racist because obviously I don't know what you're saying. Your sister's married to a BOK person or the other way around.
No, she's not. Yeah, she's her partner is a BLK.
Okay. So just because that's the case, that doesn't excuse you. You can still be racist. This is basically me trying to say that. Do you know what? I advocate for women's safety because I have organizations that look after women. Yeah. I'm still in a position where I can still be violent to women. I'm still capable of violence, am I not?
Yeah, you are. Yes.
It doesn't excuse me of basically me like it doesn't excuse me of that. So the same principle applies that just because your brother-in-law is obviously of a is BOK, that doesn't excuse you of that you can't be racist.
Okay. And he's been in my house at dinner. So I'm not, and I've treated him with respect.
Yeah, but do you think that's the case that because he's your brother-in-law and not the fact that due to the color of his skin?
No.
Because Logan, the first thing you said when you came up here is segregation. You didn't come up here saying, "Yeah, do you know what? I've got a black brother, and I really want to try and understand him and understand my nephew and things like that." You came up here and said you don't want them in your family.
I don't want them in my family.
You say you don't even want them in the country.
I don't.
You never want your own family in the country because
when reform take power, it's over for you lot. It's over. Anyway, so what?
In your existence, Logan, you are so perturbed. You are so perturbed that you've got a black man in your family and it irritates your soul. The racist in you is so irked, it is furious because you thought you were so close to getting rid of the black and brown people in the country, but they're in your family.
Okay, Miss Baboons. Okay, Miss Baboons. Don't
They're
need
in your
the
family.
Wait.
No, he needs
sorry.
to come back. He needs to come back.
I dropped it because he said I think I heard him say a certain word.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I wondered. I just wanted to school him a bit. But yeah, no worries. That's the perfect demonstration to anyone watching. If you agree with that dude, you need to book onto an accountability activation lab, or you need to buy the white noise decoder, because that man is a delusional cult member. He is part of the PDF class. It would be advisable, if anyone here knows him, to report him to his local police for a hard drive check, because anyone supporting the delusional cult of Deform are supporting the PDF class that are deplorable wealth hoarding parasites, destroying humanity, destroying Mother Earth. And anyone that sympathizes with, Garbage Nige, a man that demonstrates perfectly how incapable the white male is of telling the truth, accountability, self-reflection, integrity, leadership. Garbage Nige lacks all of those skills, and so do all of his delusional PDF cult members. And this is exactly why I can categorically say that the most prioritized and privileged demographic on the planet are also the most vile and violent demographic on the planet and lack the cognitive ability to grow, to do better. And this is why I don't believe that they should be passing on any of their genetic material. Humanity does not need these delusional cult members.
I'm sorry, guys. I was ticking. I don't think you guys understand. Like, I am so mad for so many reasons because, like, it was when he made the comment of, I've got a black woman in my family, the trigger in me triggered differently. And I have to put this out there for everybody. Stop making us. Stop making us. It pisses me off. Stop making us. Stop making mixed race kids. I'm tired. I'm tired of mixed race children being at the expense of racism. I'm tired of it. Stop it. It pisses me off because this is what we have to face when we're babies and when we're growing up. Men like him in our own family. I've had it worse than that. I can't be asked to go into detail of it. But there's no way you can come into a space, spew that much nonsense, and then because thank God you said a word and you got dropped. But there's no way you can just be racist and just remove yourself and trigger a lot of people and think it's okay. No, you said there was mud huts. I'm sure he's a troll anyway. But I don't know if what history books you was reading in school. But I think
Leanne, he can't read.
Can't read. He needs a dictionary. He needs to look up the words cause and effect. Definitely, he's an ignorant fool, and he should not be around children. Absolutely, he poses a safeguarding risk to his nephew.
100%.
Like,
Leanne, let's pick up on what you've just said, Leanne, because that really is such a bloody important point now. Mixed race children.
Like
I have a mixed race niece and nephew, and I am so concerned about my white brother-in-law. They're not married, and I'm very concerned about his inability to understand white racism and white narcissism because he's not actively doing the work, right? He's not actively doing the work. And I don't see, and like as KBJ came up earlier, is that we're still seeing the majority of white people not actively doing work to understand. And when you are having a mixed race child, if a white parent doesn't understand the consequences of that, it's like you have a child because you love the person, you love the partner that you're with, and you want to perhaps show that love through your children. Or if you're a man, a lot of the time in their narcissism, they're just like, well, I just want to carry on the family name. They don't want to do a lot with actually having children, right? But having mixed race children, please, if anybody is thinking about it, just really, 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 really choose your partners carefully, like more so than ever. There was, of course, maybe a few years in time where you could ignore this stuff, even though shit was still going on, but especially more now in 2026, where people are more aware than ever on racism, and the fact that when you have a mixed race child, I don't want to speak for you, Leanne, you can bring up your situation if you want to, but, having a mixed race child and having to deal with your black side and deal with your white side, and the fact that there is so much history between both, and having a child that's kind of stuck in the middle, I can imagine, and I know is very difficult. Leanne, do you want to carry on?
I try not to get triggered when I hear nonsense like that, but it's just like, it pisses me off. That's why I just tell people, stop making us. Stop it. Stick to your own white people that you love so much and you despise black people so much. Then stop procreating with black people and making us. Stop it. People that are supposed to represent you, and then they're the same people that despise you. You're a child. You're an innocent child brought into this world. You didn't ask to be here. And simply because of how you look, or your parents simply loving each other, you're cast out. My own experience, I'm not going to go into depth about it, but like my dad's YT, my mum's BLK. My mum and dad, as soon as they...
That's something. Sorry to interrupt, but at least you got a black mum. Hallelujah.
100%. I'm so sorry for the mixed race people that have like the YT mum. I know personally, if I had a YT mum, I know my entire experience would be completely different. completely different. And I'm thankful. Well, I've questioned my mum, because the same way people be like, yeah, but your mum, I've questioned my mum, why did you marry a white man, and why did you procreate with a white man, and why did you make us? I know that sounds mad, but as a mixed race person, you need to ask these questions, because anyway, my dad's YT, mum's BLK. My dad's always been for BLK people in general. Like, that's just how he is. Like, you think people like performative and allyship, but my dad was like a real G when it came to like BLK people. I can't even lie. So my mum and dad became boyfriend, girlfriend. My dad's entire family disowned him. My mum and dad still got married. And obviously within African culture, it is to get the blessings from the parents. My mum being I can't even say that word. My mum being a real hardcore Christian, praying, fasting, doing letters, writing letters to the parents. They still didn't own up that they were in love, and actually it was just love the why they got together. I'm one of 4. When I was first born, my mum and dad managed to actually sit and meet. And when they sat and meet, they were telling my mum that, oh yeah, you know what, now having a conversation and seeing all the letters that you'd send to us, you're not like the rest of them. I quote word for word, that's what they would say to her. You're not like the rest of them. You know, you're actually a nice BLK woman. What else did they say to her? They said that you're different compared to the rest. You speak well for a BLK person. So they thought, sadly, even though she's receiving that, they thought maybe, yeah, cool, they're in a step in the right direction. So they met me when I was a baby. And then the week after they met me when I was a baby, my mom and dad gave them a baby picture of me. The following week, when my dad went to his parents' house to look for something in their house and just to say hi to his parents, because that was then the start of his relationship back with his parents again, he found my baby picture up in the attic in the far corner, thrown across. It was broken. My baby picture was ripped up into pieces. So from there, my dad literally disowned them again. And had nothing to do with them. So growing up, my only white person that I know in my family was my dad. That's it. And then, sadly, my dad passed a couple of years ago. And then me and my siblings were having to search up on Facebook, where's all the family members? We found his brother, who literally lives 20 minutes from me, which is mad. Lo and behold, he told us that the whole entire family was racist, and it's actually a good thing we never met them, because if we did meet them, most likely we would not be alive right now. And they never would have accepted you. They never will accept any of you. And basically the whole entire side of my dad's family, apart from my dad's brother, they have all passed away. So I've grown up with no white family people in me, and I'm always going to grow up with no white family people in me, because now my dad's passed. So yeah, when people say the whole interracial, like love is love, we don't see color, bro, see the color, see it please. And if you think, and it's sad because sometimes the racism only comes up when people procreate. Like you'll get the whole, oh yeah, like they'll eat the food, they'll wear the kente, they'll wear the gele. Okay, cool. When the woman is now pregnant, when the child has now given birth, how dark is the mixed race child going to be? What's their hair going to be like? Is their hair more whitey, more straight, or is it more coily and curly? Oh, I don't know how to manage this hair. Oh, their hair's too thick. I remember when I was growing up, I had to sit in the back of the classroom because my afro was too big for everybody for some stupid reason. There's bare crap, man. That's why I like interracial people, like couples. I will have chat for you, man, all day, every day of the week, every second of my life. Because if you can't handle the racism, please, I beg, stop making us. Stop making us. We don't want trauma.
I've definitely been seeing on social media. Sorry, Ems, just on the back of what she's just saying. It's 1 minute, Ems. I'm definitely seeing a lot more conversations nowadays about mixed race people creating their own spaces and their own conversations. So I think this is obviously something that is massively needed. And again, as Leanne, that's an absolutely horrific story, like really horrific story. And it is so freaking sad that you could be a child in this world, and because of your family decisions, it has a direct effect on you. I mean, I guess the blessing was that you didn't get to be around those fucking racists. Like that's kind of a bit of a blessing, but it's still really freaking sad that that's still part of your story. Really
Yeah,
sad.
then
That's
my
part of your
children
story.
now, my children now is my children only got to meet my dad because they're still young, they're 8 and 7. So they only got to meet my dad when he started being sick, and then sadly he passed. And then because my son's got autism, he didn't like going to the hospital to see my dad. So their contact directly was very like minimal. They didn't get to know him as much as they should. But even now, like I've got a picture of him in my house, and thank God my kids are my kids. They will always be like, "That's your daddy, mummy." Like, but your daddy is not here no more. He's in heaven. But it's like my kids, even though they're 75% black and they will never look YT, their lineage to white is gone completely. And my lineage to white is gone. Like, I do not know a single white person in my family now. My brother's doing Ancestry DNA for God knows how many years. I've been doing Facebook searches. The last brother now, he's sadly passing away. So literally, like, there's no whitey side to us. So the whole mixed race thing, I'm just like, it's a whole conversation for another day. But like, please stop creating us.
I just wanted to say one thing. As much as I love to keep this live going because they're always productive, in a few minutes I've got to break my fast. So I just want to give an opportunity for the mum life to quickly have a say. I could probably keep the live running for another 5 minutes, but go for it.
Oh.
Oh, the mum life.
Can you hear that? I'm hearing something from my background. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if my. Oh my god.
Yeah, are you listening to another live or I don't know?
Yeah. The mum life. Oh, okay. She's got. Bless her. She was waiting that whole time.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she was waiting that whole time. Okay, if you want to drop Ems and break your fast, I'm more than happy to carry on this side. If you want to come back after a rejoin or something like that, you know, I'm really enjoying the conversation and I think we should keep it going. Yeah. So everybody who is following Ems, please do come on to this side as well, and Ems will join back hopefully. And so we can continue. Yeah, Maddie on this side is saying, "Don't go, don't go." Yeah, Ems is the Ramadan, so Ems has to break his fast. He's a good boy, so he's doing that. He's doing that. So please do stick on this side, and then we'll bring back Ems when he is ready to come back. Hermit Sapien says, "We love Ems." Mercy Graceful says, "Ems is really productive." You got a lot of love on this side, Ems. A lot of love.
Same on my side for you as well, Fox.
Thank you so much. Right, my dear, we'll see you in a little bit.
See you.
Enjoy breaking.
See ya. Bye.
Nice. Thanks, Leanne. Bye.
Okay, guys, let's continue on the conversation. So the mum life, are you back? The mum life. Oh, no, hold on. Sorry, we need to get people back up again. So can you guys make requests? Because we just literally just made it go. So because it's gone here, it's reset.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, so hold on, let me see if we can get the mum life. Here we go. Yes, you're here. The mum life.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I literally thought I was on another live. I don't even understand how that stuff was just playing in the background. I'm so sorry. So, oh God, I think this is going to be my favorite live now. I really enjoyed that trashing that you trashed. Look, the Tukan dude.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it. I was hoping someone else would come up and just make the same stupidity, and then I would go get a popcorn or something and listen to you. So, so it's basically like, it's basically like fun when I see like not just only Black women, but women in general, like coming forward to like dismantle this stupidity, right? Because for me, I just hate when people speak on a kind of, should I say, supremacy standpoint, especially when you have nothing, like you're no one and you're just trying to be supreme because of the color of your skin. I hate that so much. It pisses me off. So I really enjoyed that. But also on the topic of like interracial marriages, I think I've met Miss Leanne on a different live, and I didn't even know she was biracial, honestly. But I really love this woman so much, Miss Leanne. She speaks facts. Yeah, yeah, she speaks. She is so much fun on lives, and she knows how to handle things, put everybody in order, and all that. But I really enjoyed that, and I'm so sorry about what happened to you, to your like your story. It's not something that you would want to hear on a good day. It's really sad. I'm so sorry about what happened to you. But like, you know, we all have like, you know, personal journeys, personal should I say experiences But I always believe that based on who you're with, basically, you have to think as a matured person. You have to be able to assess the person's behavior. So my son just decided to start as soon as I picked up the phone. Okay, here you go. Do that. So basically, I just believe that, thinking about who you're with, it doesn't really matter what color it is, because I can smell a racist from afar. I don't even need to marry you to know that you're a racist, because there's a way you can approach someone and actually know how this person would treat you. You really cannot hide the way you would treat a person. A racist can hide. Maybe if you want to be fooled, you can be fooled. But you can know a person who doesn't love you for who you are, what you look like, who is just trying to get you in for whatever reason. So for me, I believe that we all have to be very careful when we marry, because I know some people just want to marry because, I just want to get married. I just want to be a wife, I want to be a husband. But we all have to be careful, who we get married. But at the end of the day, if your heart beats for that person is yellow, red, blue, blah, 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 go. But be careful. Just be careful. Just be really, really careful, because I'm seeing some really dark shit online. Be careful, So I really, really like where Leanne came from. And I'm a mom. I'm actually a Nigerian mom, and I have 2 biracial kids, and I have a white husband. My husband is Croatian. And the people here, okay, that's why I always say that, they're all whitey, but there's there's a different kind of mentality, right? These people here have been subjugated for so long by the West, okay, and by the Turks. So they come from a place of experiencing discrimination back to back by everybody. Like a Croatian goes to, to the UK, and once they hear his accent, they'll, look down on him and all that and insult him. So they kind of have that experience of being slaves and all of that for so long. And so whenever my husband and I are talking about all of these things, because he lived in Nigeria with me for 8 years, and whenever we're talking about this, he's always like, whenever he thinks of racism, he expects it to be like somebody who has power, money. But when he sees a random homeless white person saying let's say the N-word or something, that he just looks at the person and it's like, are you silly? Are you stupid? Like, on what grounds do you have to?
Yes, they are stupid. That is the answer.
On what grounds do you have to be racist? You have nothing. You could literally just walk by and someone could splash a dirty puddle of water on you. Who the hell do you think you are to be racist? That's my annoyance, because the color of your skin does not make you. Look at Logan Toucan. That I still can't forget that. Can you imagine? This is someone who probably has, I don't know, should I say white supremacy, or a certain idea that just because he's white, he kind of supersedes everybody else. And you go to the public and you talk about Toucan. You guys took in the land.
I can't even lie to you, not to interrupt you, but when he said that in the live, you should have seen the chat.
Gosh,
the chat, everybody was laughing so hard when he said that. Toucan.
I still can't recover, because I have never in my life heard anybody, even the most layers, like the people who never went to school, I've never in my life heard someone say Toucan. And I had to repeat it. And now my older son was saying, mommy, Toucan. And now everybody's gonna start making jokes with this stuff, because it's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my whole life. I swear to God.
Oh, wait. There's some people in the comments that missed it. Please, somebody enlighten the live.
The thing is, I didn't even hear it because I was too busy roasting him and I was too busy having a good time.
That was the highlight of the live.
Freaking out about it. Toucan.
I'm going to start saying...
Wait. Token as in a token?
Yeah.
No.
He didn't say taken. He meant taken.
Oh my!
He said toucan. I took. He's like toucan.
Oh.
That's what he said.
I'm still recovering, I'm still recovering. Okay, I'm still recovering.
Is this not your language? Imagine.
I need to put that on a shirt. It has to go on a shirt. Who took in my land? Literally. Who took in my purse?
No, black people, we actually need to do that. Put who took in my land, and then nobody, but you took my gold. That should be
I made a comment. I said Logan has to took in a book before he took in any land. He needs to he needs to took in some books. Logan, please, if you're still in the chat, please just try to took in.
This chat,
go get some books.
on that side, because I think I did ask Ems to drop him, but I don't know if he was blocked because I didn't actually hear. Again, I didn't hear what that guy was saying because it was just in one ear and out the other for me. But
someone said something masterful in the comments. Someone said that on the t-shirt there should be the bird, a token, like a toucan. Toucan, and then it should have a speech bubble saying "Who took my land?"
And then say Logan says, "Who took my?"
Yeah.
No, I swear I will make the shirt. I will make the shirt. I promise you I will.
Mud huts. We had mud huts. We all lived
No,
in mud
oh wait,
huts.
no.
huts.
Do you know what
Oh,
we should
God.
have? We should have like Columbus saying, "You guys had mud huts."
You see, guys, this is how we deal with racists, black and brown people. Please, this is it. You see how much we're laughing and we're joking. This is what we're supposed to do. Don't take on the energy of the racist. This is what they want. I repeat it. For those of you who are new here, we were just doing a great joint live, myself and Ems. This is what we do on our lives. We have these great conversations. Today, the topic is black and brown people standing on the neck of white narcissists and racism. And of course, we had white people coming up to the panel, centering themselves, saying, well, why are you talking about me? Like, who the fuck are you? Like the topic says, white narcissism, white racism.
Do you know what's
so
so
you're
funny?
centering yourself. So you're centering yourself. So because
In your
you
narcissism,
are
yeah.
disturbed, because you see that you're racist and you see that you're narcissist. So you are actually proving the point of the prop. You're proving everything that I've also been saying.
Yeah.
You know? So this is something really important for black and brown people to do. Is please don't play the games of the racist.
It's so true.
They will go past a line to trigger you. Okay,
Yeah.
this is what they're supposed to do. They will trigger you. They will take you off of the path. They will drain your energy. You don't want that. You don't want that.
Do you know
Find a way to laugh. Find a way to actually empower yourself again. Because this is why I am as I am. I had a lot of therapy to be able to deal with a lot of shit that happens in the world, right? And that's why I laugh so much. That's why my first point is always to humiliate them, always to expose them for what they are. And if it goes past the level, as you've seen, they're blocked, they're dropped, they literally don't have anything to do with me anymore. So please, let's all try and bring that same energy, because I know what it's like in the UK. The lives that you guys have there, you lot know I don't live in the UK anymore. I know it's constantly that shit. It is so much negativity,
And it's
so
and
much,
the top of and
so
the
much
worst
anger,
part
so
of
much
it.
anger, so much. One
The
minute, I'm still
worst-
cooking,
sorry,
girl.
darling.
I'm still cooking. There's so much of this bad vibe and bad energy that it becomes addictive. I know it becomes addictive because you're still scrolling and you're like, oh, where does it sound a bit more kind of hype? Maybe I'll go there. Maybe I'll sit there and be like, yeah, this is really entertaining. It's not fucking entertaining because it's taking you from where you're supposed to be. Are you supposed to be making some money right now? Are you supposed to be creating some new product or being a new project? Or are you supposed to be with your friends? Are you supposed to be doing any of those things? Yes. But instead, you're hanging out with racists. Like, what the fuck?
Wash your bum bum.
Go wash your bum bum.
Yeah.
You know what? Me and Leanne, we were talking about this yesterday concerning I won't
Who's
say too
laughing in the
much.
background?
Wait, I won't say too much because there's a little kid watching his Peppa Pig, so excuse me.
Oh.
But me and Leanne were talking about this yesterday, and you know what? I believe in staying on code when it comes to other black and brown people. So I'm not gonna delve in the deep end with far too much, but there was a live being run concurrently to me and Leanne speaking.
Oh, Fox knows.
Yeah, I know she
Fox
knows,
put it
but
out
the
there.
rest of the people don't.
Yes, it's
And
true.
this is
Hold on, which
going to
one are
go
we
into
talking about? Let's not mention no names because I don't like drama.
That's why I said I'm not mentioning any names.
Yeah. But give us some code letters.
Oh, code letters. Hey. Code letter. We'll say. Because if I say the letter that we're all thinking, they will all know.
Say,
We'll
make
say
up a
N.
code and let me see if
We'll
I
say
can decipher
N.
it.
Cup of tea. No, cup of tea.
Cup of tea. Cup of
Yes.
tea.
Cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
Cup of tea is obvious. Fox, come on, man.
Cup of
Come on,
tea. Even I got it, and I'm
Cup of
autistic.
tea.
What is this?
Cup of tea. Even though
Cup
there's
of
no tea
tea.
in the cup.
Is that a type of tea? Is it a type? It's a type of tea.
Oh my
You're thinking
lord.
of. or the actual.
No, come on, Fox.
A mug. A mug.
Yeah.
The person is always drinking from the mug.
Oh yeah.
Cup of tea.
No, I'm not gonna lie,
okay.
girl. You're slow. I'm slow, but
You know
but
what?
You know why? Because I've not been in that space
Not been
many
in that
times,
space.
and I've only
Yeah.
seen the mug one time. That's why. That's
Yeah,
why.
that's
She
me
feels
and
a bit
Fox
yeah,
get
she
moved
was-
out.
I'm sorry,
But
host.
now
I'm
I've seen it because
sorry,
like,
host.
somebody made a comment about the mug one time. I'm glad you're confused, Rasta Pinky. See, we're talking in code here. We don't want no drama coming in. That's why it's code.
Sorry, host. I'm just about to drop, but like people in the chat, please don't forget. Took it, tooken. Okay.
yeah,
Please
but
don't
don't
forget.
worry. I'm gonna make t-shirts and sell it.
Exactly.
No,
So
what's it called? Took
it. No, took
Hashtag in the chat.
tooken it.
Oh.
Yeah,
You wanna
tooken it.
know?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Took
it's so
it,
bad.
tooken it. Okay. Don't
Yeah.
forget that, guys.
No,
All right,
don't
thank
forget
you.
it.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you so much.
Thank
me
you.
and Leanne, baby, me, Etty said, baby, this one that's right over here. Me and her were having a conversation about cup of tea mug, okay, black and white mug. Do you understand? And why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Going on mute.
Please. No, why are you laughing? Please, I beg. So we were having a discussion. There was a situation that went down where apparently someone said an inappropriate slur. We moved past that. Cool. It was the fact that this one person was saying multiple things after that alluded to the fact that black people should get over white privilege. And this is the shit that pisses me off the most, is how can you, an oppressor, tell the oppressed how to feel when it comes to our oppression? Like, it's like if I tell, it's genuinely like if I go up to a person that's broken their leg and I just go, get over your broken leg. You're
we know why they
complaining
say
about
that,
it
don't
too
we?
much.
We know why they say that. It's because it makes them uncomfortable. They're not progressed enough to actually understand these conversations, because we can talk about it now. We've of course already been talking about it a lot as part of our history, but there was a period of time where we were very silenced. And now in this, from COVID years, actually, where we're being a lot more online and we're able to connect with our black and brown brothers and sisters around the world, we're now understanding our shared experiences in the diaspora. So now we have more confidence than ever, right, to discuss these things. And they're not quite ready to understand the conversation. And this is where we have to understand to not give a shit, because us as people, of course, have censored ourselves a lot. We've had to deal with a lot of emotional white fragility as part of the conversation, because they will say things like Fairy Bread has just said, oh, why are you talking about it? It's a person. And, white people feel very uncomfortable as soon as you start talking about these things. They feel so bad. And of course, as black and brown people, we've also taken on the energy and felt quite guilty for saying certain things and wondering if we're saying the wrong thing and if we're saying the bad thing. But as Fairy Bread and Leanne and myself have experienced this week, is that it has been very disappointing for us to go to other lives where certain gentlemen, other men in our community have also platformed racists and not called out the behavior. This is actually why
Not
we have
at all. And it's the black women that come up on the panel and actively push against, actively this, that, and the fourth. But then we get called dramatic, we get called problematic because we're not willing to let go of a certain point that someone has said. I'm not trying to look at it comprehensively. I'm not trying to see the big picture, because whitey people or Yimbo people be understanding when it's blonde hair and blue-eyed people. You know, on Love Island, when they say, oh, my type is blonde hair, and you see the brunette girl, she's like, well, I'm not blonde. They understand it there. They get it there. But when you include the hue of your skin, somehow they're lost and confused. Lost and confused. I had to strive for within when I realized these women were men. That's how they be moving. Like as though it's such a wild thing that people can be discriminated against for their skin color. Like, oh my god, I've never seen it a day in my life. Like, what? And you live in Big Britain. What are we doing here?
Yeah, exactly. Right, we're going to bring in LB because LB has been waiting so patiently on the panel, and LB has been up before as well. I remember you, LB. Are you there?
Hey girl, sorry. I was stuffing my face. I'm here enjoying my life. I was like, yeah, sorry, I couldn't join last time because where I live, when you come into my apartment, the network just, I don't know, there's zero network. So I had to drop off last time. But hey, thanks for having me. Hey Favorite, hey Leanne.
Hey Lola.
Yeah, same shit. Sorry, same nonsense, different day. It's YT people have always, I think they need to produce a book to show them themselves. They're not really good at dealing with shame and guilt. Shame and guilt are two emotions that you're not, every human being is hard. It's hard for us to deal with. Like, you know, Black people, we have our own guilt that comes in forms of like imposter syndrome and certain stuff and whatever, and then kind of certain types of shame. But the shame they carry is a shame that they're not willing to look in the mirror at. They're not willing to accept what they're part of. They're not willing to accept their privilege. It's why you can see a homeless YT man on the street with no dentures, no teeth, still whistling because he ain't got no teeth, the word N. Yeah, that's why, because he don't know nothing about himself. Do you understand? He can't even handle the shame that he floundered and squandered his own privilege. It's like, how are you white and you homeless and you failing? Like, you tell me how that happens. You messed up your own privilege and now you mad, and now every Black person that walks around with a suit and tie, you're whistling through your gap dentures N-word, right? Because
Sorry,
that's
but why
literally
is
what
that
it is.
so funny?
No, because true and true.
Yeah.
You're laughing, but
It's either they want to
you're
chew
laughing, but
you
it's
or they
serious.
whistle it. Half
They
of
go
them
like,
that come up on the panel, they ain't got no teeth. So it's either
like
you head
I
or wrong.
tell you, the Stella has
Ladies, we can take it. We can take it one step further, right? On my old account, one of the first videos I ever did to drive it home to these people is their surnames, right? Butcher, Baker, Boatwright, like all of their surnames are literally their family trade. So they should have been richer. They should have been so goddamn rich. So that us people should not be intimidated by we should not be intimidated. They should not be intimidated by us, but they literally don't even want to accept that this was literally part of their history to be so successful. But now, when you, like LB has said, how is it that you've got nothing and you see us all dress up nice? You know, all the time in the comment section, they'll always say stuff like, oh, but look at you there with your jewels on, Fox. Look at you there with your hair done and your makeup done. I'm like, yeah, good. Like, yeah, exactly. Look at me in my lovely house. Look at me and all the things that I've achieved.
Yeah,
in your
watch me.
backwards ass, racist ass country that doesn't give a shit about Black and brown people, I managed to achieve all of that stuff. And so do my Black brothers and sisters.
about
my
you.
brothers and sisters. We've still been able to do all of this stuff. So you should be taking a look at yourself and figure out where you went wrong, because that ain't got nothing to do with us.
And
you
that's
need
what
to
they
wake
can
the hell up and realize that we have had zero advantages over you. This the thing, right? Let's talk about class for a little bit. When white people come here, and actually I wanted to pick up on what the Mum Life said earlier, was a lot of my platform, and as you guys, if you've seen my content, I will talk mainly about English, and I will not say about Eastern Europeans, because they've also been oppressed too by English people, and I'll say about the Irish, the Welsh and the Scottish as well. So I'm very much more about saying about the Western Europeans and the certain countries as well. But I think what's really interesting just about their oppression is that they don't realize the depth of it. They'll only bring it into the conversation when we talk about our oppression, because they've had phrases, as we know, of keep calm and carry on and stiff upper lip, that now they're seeing, like we've all said here, like, how is it that these people who came in as working class, by the way, as well, we didn't come in as privileged. We were around you, working class white people. We heard your aggression. We heard your discrimination. We heard your racism. We heard all of this stuff directly from you, working class people. We didn't hear it from the government. We heard it from the TV shows. We heard it at work. And we talked a little bit about dating. The things that I've heard. And the funny thing is, like, when you start dating white people, you're laughing already. The things that you hear about white people, right? And the funny thing is, when you're a Black woman, you actually can pick up energy a lot more with people, and women generally can pick up the energy. But Black women, we can see the discomfort of the white man when he starts to date you and he starts to compare in his mind. He already does that with white women, but he does it even more so with black women. He's looking at her thinking, oh, has she got more than me? What is she going to do? What is she achieving in life? And if you guys are watching this series of Love is Blind, we've seen that actually. You see it, right? That Chris and whatever her name is, even though she's not black, but she's still a very attractive, successful woman. But white men, I swear, are the most insecure group of people. I've dated everybody.
All my days, that
And I can
Chris.
tell you,
That
white
Chris.
men, the Chris, terrible. Terrible.
No
I don't want
shame.
to give away. I don't want to give away any spoilers, guys.
No
for
shame
anybody who
or
wants-
couth. No shame
whoever's
or
watching
couth.
Love is Blind. So, as I say, I don't want to give over spoilers, but what we've generally seen, and I've seen quite a few episodes of different seasons, is that the insecurity sometimes comes out in white men when they see that you are a more successful woman. And I've definitely seen it in whiteness, 100% more, like even 1,000% more than any other ethnic group that I've been out. I've been out with black, I've been out with Asian, I've been out with Sikh guys, like anyone you can think of. Actually, just not Chinese. I'm waiting for my Chinese
Touching on a
come
topic
through.
I
Yeah,
was even going to talk about
I
this
want a
topic.
Chinese, give me a Chinese, so I can actually compare a bit more. But white insecurity is something next level, really and truly. It
I was
is
going to
very,
talk about
very-
this topic in terms of, because I like to talk about it in terms of the workforce, but I'm being a bit careful with my tongue because I'm on my last strike. But their insecurity is so extreme. Like, you honestly, it's not even just their vim. Their vim is online. Their vim is loud online. The insecurity is loud offline. Right? When you work in an office space with these people and you are just a fraction better than them, not even a fraction because we're way better than you by a landslide. I'm just saying, because we are. But when you step into an office space and they know you're better than them, immediately she stops focusing. The whitey woman, especially the one that every weekend she's on top of a black man with her mixed race kids, right? Especially those ones. Immediately they stop focusing on their work, their own life and journey, and they narrow in on how to sabotage you. Bring me a whitey person, a whitey woman in the workspace, and I will, and I'm sure there's a trailer park behind her of black people. She has sabotaged their careers and their lives because of insecurity.
Yes.
In
You know
every
what I said?
single industry you go to, and that is even worse with the men, because black men, we know our men are more insecure than us, so their men is even worse. And if that's what you're going through with a whitey woman, a whitey man is 20 times worse.
I've talked about this a little bit. I have a personal experience. I worked for a white husband and wife once. And it started. It actually started off really well. I really liked the lady. You guys, some of you will know the story already. She had 5 children. One of them was older and worked at the company. The rest of them were very, very young. And I was her first full-time employee, first one, right? She just acquired this company. She bought it from somewhere else. Thank you for the gift there. Thank you. And I really liked her. I thought, oh my God, strong, independent woman. You know, she's killing it. She's got this business. It's growing, amazing. And I would go around saying how amazing this woman was. I would even promote her, take her business cards places, take posters and saying, you know, bring some traffic here, bring some business to this lady. Wow. Everything should have started clicking for me when she would start making compliments about how I was dressed into work. Oh, those are some nice shoes you got on there. Can you walk in those shoes? Oh, you've got your headphones on your head. How is it that when you take your headphones off your hair just doesn't get messed up? Oh, and then even on the description on the website, so I'm a web and graphic designer by trade, she put something like, as part of my job description on the page, manages to walk everywhere in 6-inch heels. On the company website. On the company website. I'm like, okay, yeah. So, and then I started to bring in more nicer bags, more nicer things, right? I'm a single woman at this time, no children. So I bring in some nice things. You know, I work very hard. I save my money. Plus, on the side, I'm a financial dominatrix. Some of you guys know this. Some of you guys don't know this. I'll bring it in a little bit later in the conversation. But I'm bringing in more nice things. But this woman was watching me every single day. And she says to me, oh, how can you can afford that bag? My boss says, how can you afford that bag? And I say, well, I work hard, don't I? Like, she's paying my wages, obviously, so she knows how much she's paying me. but at the same time, I don't have any other responsibilities. So of course I should be able to pay for a bloody nice bag. And then what does this lady do? In the big ass weak bee that she is, she starts making this story. And actually at this point in time, there's only 3 other employees. So it's me and 2 other people, 2 other white people, I have to say, a woman and a man. They start saying, oh, we're going to have to sell the business because we're making so much money, or we're going to have to sell our house and move down to another part of the country. So they're saying all this stuff, and we're kind of like, well, how is that going to affect us and our jobs? This is a small company. They've just moved us to a bigger office. I don't know why, because there's only 3 of us. Why did we have to move to this bigger office for more money? Anyway, not my problem, not my business. And then what happens? They sell their house. They move away from the town that we were in, and they send me an email saying, Fox, your job is no longer available. I'd been here for over 2 years, 2.5 years. As I said, I was their first employee. And I'm like, what the fuck? They're trying to fire me via email. They didn't even have the guts to say it to my face. So I emailed them back. And of course, I know employment law. So I'm like, well, this is obviously unacceptable, and you're currently advertising for 2 other jobs at the same time. So what do you mean my job is no longer available? I was a senior web and graphic designer. They were advertising for a junior web and graphic designer, and also SEO executive. And the salary was kind of the same for my job and the SEO executive. And I said, well, okay, if my job is no longer available, train me up for that other one then, and I can do that one. Easy, I'll do it. And they were like, oh no, those jobs are just up there for fun. We're not taking them seriously. And I was like, bitch, screenshots. Of course, I'm collecting evidence this whole goddamn time. Anyway, they managed to kind of manipulate me into taking the junior web and graphic design role for £10,000 a year less. £10,000. And I was sitting there at my desk for the next sort of 3 or 4 days, thinking, what the fuck? Like, why did this happen? They clearly can't fire me because I'm covered by employment law, you know, because I've been there over 2 years, but they're trying to get me out of the company. They clearly don't want me there. So I decide, you know what, I'm leaving. That's fine. I'll find another job. And I start speaking to ACAS. You guys will know ACAS. They, of course, protect your employment rights. So I start speaking to them, and they say, well, actually, this sounds like constructive dismissal, because obviously they can't fire you. You're protected. So they've tried to manipulate you into leaving. That's constructive dismissal. So I'm like, oh, okay. So then, of course, I'm collecting my evidence. I get a solicitor. My solicitor then contacts the company and says, yeah, you're being told that, of course, what you've done is wrong. It's actually illegal, what you're doing. And then they get their backup, don't they? They get their backup, because a part of my claim, I can claim compensation for creating an online portfolio to find work. They say, okay, game on. They then, on their website, right? On their website, they put a redirect on there that says that anytime that any one of my future employees clicks on a link that I have anything to do with, it will take you to another page that says this employee is lying and trying to plagiarize our work. Even though I did the damn work, they put a redirect on. So any future employer that is actually looking in my portfolio and goes to that website, they're trying to stop me from having another job. I was like, you bitches have gone to the next level. So, okay, it's already constructive dismissal. We're adding defamation and slander to the case as well. They think I don't know words. They think I don't know terms. I collected everything, every conversation, every screenshot, everything. And then what happens is they literally say, right, okay, we'll settle out of court. We'll give her what she wants, which was only a month's salary. That's all I asked for. It wasn't that time, it wasn't that much at the time. So I got the compensation, and that was fine. Moved on. What happened? And like what you said, LB, is they do not let it lie. I left that company. It was almost more than a year later, that woman had stalked me privately for the next following 1.5 years. She then contacted my next employer saying, oh, Fox is doing something else on the side. Here is her website, which is my dominatrixing, which is what I was doing on the side. She then, Maddie, I should have asked for more, but I didn't need to. I didn't want to. I was just like, just be with it and done, and I wanted it to be easy to separate the relationship between her and I. And then, so she sent a link to my website to my bosses, and I got fired from that job, only because actually it was against my contract. It was nothing to do with the job I was doing. I wasn't actually allowed to have a second business. So my employees at the time were very, very good, really good. They were saying, we're really sorry. We're just going through the process. We'll give you holiday pay. We'll give you a month's salary. We'll give you references, whatever you want for the next job. And I said, okay, thank you so much. And they were so welcoming. I could still go back to the office from time to time. And then what happened? The universe said, Fox, this is your calling, you know, you've been doing dominatricing, you're really freaking good at it. And I said in my mind as well, I'm just going to give it like maybe a month or two to see if I can do it. I don't know how many years has gone by, but you see how happy I am. And I've talked about the things I've managed to achieve as well in that time. So guys, again, like, you know, white people really do go above and beyond with their racism and their jealousy and their narcissism and their insecurity, that they could literally follow you. And that's why I do these lives now, for us to empower ourselves to not let them get one up over us, to really show them for the bloody idiots that you are. And funny thing is about that lady is that she's got no employees now whatsoever. Even though she moved different counties, she had she's got nothing. She's got nothing now. So, you know, the karma always comes back around. It always does.
It is well. It is so well. It is well.
It is. Right, we've got A up on the panel. A, are you here? A.
You see me? Me, I'm not nice.
Oh, sorry,
I
guys.
am not a kind individual.
Because you are collecting your reparations, and I love it for you. You understand?
No.
I love that for
Me,
you
I would have I would have gone past. You are using my work for your useless work. If I grab you with strength,
sometimes I don't know if I can do it. I might go too far.
I will go farther than
That's the
far.
thing, right, guys? You have to have a real level of kind of, you know, thinking a lot, talking about it with your people, a counselor, whoever, to keep you really on the calmness. Like, seriously, because of course I could have flipped out, I could have got really angry, I could have got really just with her, and I was like, no, I'm fucking smart. And always with these racists and all with these jealous people, is you always have to play the game better than them, because they're so stupid, they're so thick, they're uneducated, they're not able to actually play the game correctly. She lost. The woman lost. She still had to pay me. And then, of course, the funny, even more karma is I left her a Google review. I actually gave her 3 out of 5 stars. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm not stalking you as much as that you're stalking me, because I'm not interested in what you have to do. But I now have the great job that I have and living the life that I live. Other people started to leave reviews after, being like, yeah, this woman's crazy. Like, she's this and that. So the karma always comes back around. As I said, she's got no employees now. The business, I don't think, is doing very well. You know, and this is how it is. So A, we've got you as well here on the panel. A, how are you?
I'm good. Hi, everyone. That was her karma, though, isn't it? Like, you were her karma, essentially, because they go out of their way and focus on, because you're right, like, I think someone was saying earlier on, like, how they tend to focus on you instead of doing their job. And they tend to do the bare minimum no matter what job sector they're in. They tend to do the bare minimum but act as if they're doing the most. And that is the bit that always gets me, because it's like they love to also micromanage. Like, when you also have like white managers and stuff, they love to micromanage, especially the black workers. Like, why are you micromanaging and why are you sitting there? Because my cousin told me the other day, like, he works in sales, and his manager just was looking at his schedule, like his notes in his calendar, and telling him, oh, you've got this coming up. And he's like, I know, because I put that in myself. Like, why are you micromanaging me? But then he's like, he's not micromanaging any of the other white co-workers. So it's very intentional. They know what they're doing. So yeah, like, it starts being all right. You have to play the game, to a certain degree, you do have to play the game.
Yeah, I have a story.
They always want to feel like they have some kind of authority and control, because I literally talked about this week as well, about how, you know, how you're seeing generally on social media and even in real life that white people will be like, oh, have you got a right to be in the country? Have you got a right to be here? Let me see your identification. Who the fuck are you? Literally, who are you? Like, they really want to make sure or think and feel that they're above us in any way, shape or form. That's why I say, play the game back. Ask them for their identification. Ask them for their qualifications. All of these things, just always flip it back on them and don't take any of this energy. Don't take it all. Fairy Bread, I think, has got a story.
I have a story.
I'm gonna say, sorry,
Fairy
just before you
Bread's
start, I was
got a
gonna
story.
say, and that's
Yeah.
why I don't exclude the Irish and other, because I heard what you said earlier. I do not exclude them. Because you see, for a country that you say has gone through their own version of oppression, because it wasn't chattel slavery, it was indentured servitude, but for a country that has gone through their own form of oppression, to now be drunkards and now be standing outside, queuing outside immigrant hotels, shouting at them, setting things like that on fire. I'm sorry, I have to classify them in the same boat.
You're in the same boat.
That's why I said they whistle through their non-dentures.
I'm
Because how is it that your liver is halfway on its leg out?
It's
But
halfway.
You are focused
It's in
on
the
immigrants
grave.
that are fleeing WAR. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
It's
Even
in
the
the
bottom of the
grave.
bottom, the creatures, the shrimp of the ocean, the shrimp of the bottom, the creatures of them think they're bad.
Mariana
It
Trench.
hurts me and my homegirls. Thank you.
Please, and you know what pisses me off? Your face is so red. It's not even a light shade of brown. It's a dark shade of red. And you're talking to me. Okay, you're allergic to the sun. You're allergic. The allergies that you have of the sun, the way that your skin fears the sun, my skin does not fear the sun the same. So me and you were not even on equal pathways, on equal standing, and you're here shouting at me. If you don't brush your teeth with immediate effect, rubbish. Anyways,
You know
back
what's
to
so
my
funny
story.
about those comments, just real quick, Fairy Bread, is that if the racists were here, they would call that out as racism. You know, they
I
do.
don't
They
give a-
always say that.
I
You
don't
can't
give
go
a
into the
bloody
sun.
heck.
That's racist. We don't brush our teeth. That's racist.
I
Like,
don't give a
it's so,
bloody heck.
it's so, but that's the thing. Like, they don't actually understand what racism is. They're only just saying it because they've heard us say it. And a lot of the things that they do is just because they've heard us say it. But like I said earlier, it's like, oh, okay, so you know what racism is because you created it. So that's how I flip it back on white people. If you're saying that I'm racist, I'll be like, oh, okay, so you know what racism is then? Yeah, good, because your white people created it. So you know your creation. Well done.
Well,
That's all you have to
wait
do.
for
is
my
flip it back
story
on
because
them.
you guys are gonna get so angry. Just wait.
Go
I
on.
was 16 years old. I walked into this Indo-Pakistani it was a Asian fusion cuisine restaurant. I was 16. I wanted my money. I got my national health insurance. I was feeling like a big baller, big mommy. That's what I was feeling like. Look at me, I'm balling. I got my national health insurance so I can make some money. I walked into this restaurant. It was like 5 minutes away from my house. I was like, can you please hire me? Like, I'll do anything. I don't care. I just want to make money because I want to buy things on I was feeling big. I was like, I want to buy things on Shein. I just started sixth form, so I want to look good. Cool. They're like, yeah, we'll hire you. I started liking cooking and things like that, and so they put me in the cooking side because I was a server at first, but then they started putting me in the cooking side. That's where I learned to cook, and that's where I became qualified, like a licensed chef and everything, right? I went through the qualification, did my 6 months of jail, because it was jail. Don't even remind me, because I'll get annoyed. Cool. I'm working. There was a couple people that came in. There was a whitey woman, her little rugrat children. Let me not say nothing about the children. They're quote unquote innocent or whatever. And her useless vagabond of a husband. Like what LB described, imagine that in your brain. The Stella Artois that was reek. I'm promising you, he didn't sweat water, he sweat beer. So you can imagine the smell that I was smelling. First of all, Joe Black in the comments, I said jail because it felt like jail, not because I was actually in jail. Anyways, people don't understand what metaphors are. Now, back to what I was saying. He comes in, he's like, this was the time where I was away from the kitchen and I was serving because the server wasn't in at the time. So I was serving because it was my old job, so I knew what it was. I must have been around 18 at this point, so I'd been working at the restaurant for 2 years. It must have been around 18. He comes in and he's flirting with me heavy in front of his wife. Like flirting with me heavy in front of his wife. And I'm just like, I'm trying to do a good job. They allow tips at my restaurant, so I'm trying to be tipped as well. Like I want to do a good job. He's flirting with me, calling me his dark Nubian princess, rare tete and the fourth. At the bar, sometimes you could serve them beer. He came up to me and he was like, I've never slept with a black girl. I was like, guess what, sir? You're not gonna. Go back to your table. Keep it moving. I kept it light and cute though. I didn't say it in the tone that I said now. Cool. I went and served them the food. The wife trips me up with her feet. Her rascal dirty feet touched my skin. I literally looked at her like, she was like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I was like, it is well. It is well. So their children just kept running up the tab. The tab now reaches like £200. Like it was matters, like £200. I'm reminding them, hey, yo, just to let you know that, what servers do. Hey, yo, just to let you know that the tab is running around certain things. Like, are you sure that, because they looked a bit crusty dusty. So I was like, just to let you know. I come back to the table after they said they were done. I was like, oh, your bill is £215. Like, how do you want to pay that? Cash or card? They look at me and go like, I thought there was a discount. And I was like, no, there's no discount. You have to pay the full price. I don't know what you thought this was. And she was like, look at the flyer here. Look at the flyer here. There was a discount. And I was like, read the date again. Read the date. Discounts were like Tuesdays. This was Thursday. I don't know how you confuse Tuesday and Thursday together. It don't make no sense. If you see this woman, N-word this, N-word that, monkey this, that, you're chimping out, I need to talk to your manager. I was like, let me talk. You want to talk to my manager? Okay. My manager comes out, big black, big 6'6", like black guy. And she was like, no, I don't want him. I want your other manager. The other one comes out, Pakistani guy. The other one comes out after that, a Pakistani guy. It wasn't until the other manager was called in from where she was in her home, called into her house, from her house to the restaurant, and she was like, oh, this, that, and the fourth. And she started telling me that, oh, you should have calmed down when you were talking to her. You should have calmed down when you were talking to her. You shouldn't have talked to her in such an abrasive way. And I was like, all I said was the discount was on Tuesday. You're now on Thursday. How are you confused about Tuesday and Thursday? She was like, no, you have to understand the customer is always right. The customer is always right. Rare, tear, and the fourth. The way that this is why sometimes I fucks with black men. Sometimes, not majority of the time. Sometimes they annoy me. But sometimes I fucks with black men because he was like, no. Like, she did her job. She was right. You ain't got to criticize her, this, that, and the fourth. 2 days later, I was like, guys, I'm off to uni in September. I quit. I've loved working for you guys, but I quit. I'm done. The black guy tried convincing me, and he was like, I'll put you on service when she's not on. Because the manager was saying hella microaggressive things to me. He was like, no, I'll put you on shift when you're not on. You're one of the best employees we've had. You're always on time. You take the shifts that no one else wants to. Please, please, please. I was like, no, you can find someone else. Please find someone else. Like, what do you think this is? I'm not standing for this nonsense. And he was like, no, please. And I was like, no, bye, good night. And like, I'm done. And that's what the thing is. Like everything you guys were saying, so true. Because this manager should have been backing me up. You've watched the video, you watched what happened, and yet you literally are moving as though I'm the bad guy.
Yeah. Do you know what funny thing is, Fairy Bread? The very first person who came up on the live today, however many hours ago it is now, the first thing they said, well, one of the first things they said was that in employment, they didn't see any discrimination. And I was like, well, are you saying that you've literally seen every single job? Like, have you been involved in every single HR discussion, la, 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 because they were trying to say, because we have equality rights and equality law, that we shouldn't be experiencing any of that stuff when we've all got freaking stories. We've all got stories. Thank you for that, Fairy Bread. We've got the sovereign on the panel. The sovereign. Yes, hello, the sovereign. Hello on the panel, the sovereign. Hello. I'm going to send you oh, yes. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Are you Caribbean?
I'm African Caribbean. My dad is Nigerian and my mum's from Grenada. I was born in Britain, of course, this colonizer accent.
You're half Nigerian.
Yes, sister.
That is a very good mix. I like that mix. Hey, Wahala for who know Caribbean and Nigerian.
The Nigerian has to be prideful.
Sorry.
Of course, the Nigerian must open their mouths. You're about
relax.
I swear.
Okay, sovereign, carry on.
No, just because you're saying Irish, Scottish, and English, but you remember those titles originally belonged to us.
Yeah, the indigenous British, of course, were black. Yes.
Yeah, and they're Jamaicans, Trinidadians. All the West Indies mean British. You know.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about the indigenous to Britain, or are you talking about in the colonies?
Indigenous to Britain.
Jamaicans are indigenous to Britain.
I'm gonna need some stats. I'm gonna need some sources.
You're talking about British subjects. If you're talking about like the Caribbean islands,
obviously,
you know that is literally like our enslaved African ancestry.
The Africans. Let me correct you. My family is the second in command of the British Empire. My granduncle. My family wasn't slaves.
Okay, but we're talking about actually over there though.
No,
so what are you talking about?
Only Africa. There's a different. The black people from England, wasn't slave. The people from Africa were slave. There's two different population. If you never heard about it, I'm telling you about it now.
So you're the special magical Negro.
No, I'm a special magical nigga. She's being
I
disrespectful.
didn't say N-word.
Don't use that language. Don't use that language, please. Don't. Nobody said
so
that.
rude.
They said Negro.
But
repeat that word again on here because wait. Don't repeat that word again in my presence. That's your only one warning, because generally I will drop. But I want to try and understand what you're saying, because people are just like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
What do you mean?
You're trying to say that Jamaicans are indigenous to Britain. That's not correct, sir. That's not correct, sir. If you're talking about the original Celtic sovereign, if you're talking about the original black people in the UK, yes, but it's not via Jamaica. That's just a completely different group of people. You've got a Jamaican accent. Like, have you checked your DNA whether you're actually indigenous to Caribbeans, and have you got some? And also, have you got some Northern European ancestry in your bloodline? Because otherwise, it will show you whether you are actually got British bloodline, Celtic bloodline, or Northern European bloodline. Have you done your DNA?
You're telling me about my DNA. I just tell you that my
No,
family.
I didn't tell you. I said have.
No, but
you?
what I'm saying, calm down. Calm down.
Tell a black woman to
Don't
calm down.
Don't patronize me.
No.
Goodbye, you're dropped. We were having a great
No,
conversation.
because he was
Right,
a
we've got
Mr.
Serena.
Magical tap dancer, magical Negro. My family's special.
No, but like,
Anyway,
yeah.
Serena, we've got Serena on the panel. Serena, how are you today?
I think it's a quite interesting conversation to hear people out from a different perspective. But I guess it's a sensitive topic, so people can't. I'd just blatantly say we can't control ourselves when it's time to hear things from a different perspective. I don't think people randomly come out with things. I think sometimes we need to give them some grace to, make their point just because it goes against our indoctrination or our thought process, it doesn't mean we have to reject it. That's
One
what
minute,
I'll say.
Serena.
I will
One
respect
minute.
anything.
No,
Hold on.
please,
So this
everybody don't all talk.
conversation. Hold on one second.
Excuse me, ladies, please, on the panel. Serena,
Yeah.
I gave him ample opportunity to explain. What I don't do is deal with disrespect. That is my boundary. If you are accepting of people talking to you like a piece of crap, then that's you. But it's not me, my dear. It's not me.
And again, I'm so sorry. Please, when did this become I've heard this so many times within the past 2 days that you must open the hand or you must extend an olive branch to those you disagree with. There is a difference in disagreeing of an opinion, and there is a difference in disagreeing of facts. When someone is infactual and they spread that sort of misinformation, because it's not, and in fact it's not even misinformation, because he wasn't misinformed, he was disinformed.
I want to save your energy on these people. These people don't deserve a monologue or our knowledge or education. They are anti-black, period. Just because they're black does not mean they are kinfolk. We need to understand their ideology. You might not know everyone on this app, but they are anti-black. That man is anti-black, and Serena has been in anti-black lives, anti-African specifically. And this is not what that live is about. You can have your space and talk about the dumb topics you want to talk about for the rest of your life. But we're educated and intellectual women, right, that haven't been tricked out of their spots yet by whitey supremacy, are trying to have a serious and intellectual dialogue. We don't need your dumbness and slowness, right? Because I'm not trying to be an ableist here. We don't need your dumbness on anti-blackness, because that's exactly what it is. Your diaspora, your anti-blackness. Keep it in. Hold on. Keep it on the uneducated corner right there and go and stay there so on that live. Don't bring that nonsense and fuckery here.
I came up to talk about what you guys were talking about, to be honest.
One minute, please. Rasta Pinky has said in the comments to you, Serena, also, he was going off at you in the comments. So why would you?
He wasn't going off at me. That's a lie. I was literally having an actual conversation with him in the comment. Wasn't going. That's why I just completely ignored it. One thing with me is I don't entertain things that I know are not true. So the point that I was making is I came up to talk about the topic, which was about racism in the workplace. However, because the gentleman came up and was talking, and I have been to his lives and I have had the conversations about these things. So I just find it quite interesting, some of the things that they find out, which actually, challenges some of the thought processes that I have had in the past. So I just wanted to say that was all. I wasn't saying you were wrong for not wanting to listen or anything like that. I just was elaborating on that.
Do you have something to contribute to the conversation, Serena? Because the topic
I just said that's
the
what
actual topic before.
I do have something to contribute to the topic.
So the topic before actually was black and brown people stepping on the necks or standing on the necks actually of white narcissism and white racism. That's actually the topic. We've actually
Do you know what? I don't even going to bother have the conversation, because when these guys are talking about, their perception of it, you're not interrupting what they're saying. I already said that I'm here to talk about the topic, but I was just clearing up why I was saying what I was saying about the guy on the when he came up. That's all. So
I just said what the topic. 1 minute, ladies, please. When the host is talking,
so it's interesting because
as I said, Serena,
when I was working last year.
Serena, please, 1 minute. Serena, please wait a minute. I've just explained to you what the topic is, okay? It's not about workplace. We've just shared some stories. And I've asked you, what do you want to contribute to the terms of what the topic actually is?
Okay, tell me the topic again then.
Okay, thank you. So again, it is black and brown people standing on the necks of white narcissism and racism. And so we're just talking about our stories underneath that. That's what we're actually talking about.
Black and brown people standing on their necks. What does that look like? Give me a quick example, because
of what?
Of what do you mean by?
We're fighting white narcissism and racism.
That's what you're fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, So it's about being racist against white people.
Nah. She's being
No, hold on,
disingenuous.
LB. Please don't.
I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, I see that you're trying to understand from a face of whiteness. So that for me is really interesting, Serena.
No, I just think
Were
that
you
we've
born-
got
were
issues
you
within the
born-
black
were you
community that we
born-
should
were
talk
you
about
born and
over.
raised, Serena, were you born and raised in the UK?
I'm Black British Caribbean.
Okay, Black British Caribbean. Okay, so what sometimes seems to happen is that, and I found it definitely more from the Caribbean community, is that there doesn't seem to be a lot of unpacking on why you would think that somebody who looks like you would be a problem. I think what is really interesting is that the subject is white narcissism and white racism, right? The subject isn't all people can be racist and what we're doing about narcissism and racism. It's definitely not a subject
Yeah.
I've said about from the global, but you've immediately gone to black people. That's not the subject we're talking about here. So why is it that you
you've just told me the prompt, so my brain's clucked, and that's what I thought. I don't really want to have conversations about white people. I'd prefer to go on about solving problems within the black community. That's all. So
do you know what this is called?
I've dropped you then because that's not the topic. If you want to go and talk about that, then go somewhere else. Like someone else has said, I've said what the topic is twice. Please, ladies, please. Like Fairy Bird, I think, or LB said, was that topic is not the discussion here. It is elsewhere. What's really interesting is, again, that, and like we say, right, is that we've got to understand as black people, and as somebody else just said on the panel, is just because if someone is our skin color does not mean that they're actually our ally. Skin folk is not always kinfolk. It's not always the case, you know. And what's really, really important is that us as black and brown people is that we know, we're very aware, of course, in this space, right, in our lives, we're very aware of the systems that oppress us. We're very aware of people's racist behavior. We've seen it already on the panels. We see it constantly on TikTok. We see it on social media. We see it in our own lives. So for me, it's always crazy when there's black people who just completely don't want to see any of it. And they think that they're actually doing themselves a favor by also actually defending white people. To me, it's just insane. I'm very glad. And maybe it's because I am Afro-Caribbean that I don't have that, that mindset. As I said, like I've definitely found white Caribbean people to be a little bit more pushing of white supremacy. And I think that's probably because a lot of the empire spent a lot of the time, and, you know, as part of the Commonwealth, you know, and I don't know if you guys have seen this, when King Charles, I call him freaking King Charles. Actually, I've been calling him Prince Charles this whole time. I've never even promoted him in my mind. But anyway, Charlie Boy went over to the Caribbean or somewhere. And if you saw that lady, he was jumping up and down, got down on her knees, this black Caribbean lady. And it's like, Mummy, what are you doing? Like, it's just embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. So I just hope that eventually one day, if that lady is still here, and if she's still here, that eventually, oh, it was in the UK, was it? Oh, Lord. I hope that one day, you know, that more black brothers and sisters do wake up and actually understand that you're not helping yourself by pushing white supremacy. You're helping the people who were oppressing you. You know, I'm not the problem here. We're not the problem here. We're not the problem. Mohammed is here. Mohammed, how are you?
I'm okay, folks. How are you?
I'm okay. It's been a little while. Good to see you.
Thank you so much. I've sort of been off TikTok for a little while. Yeah. To be fair, the only reason I was on it is because I was out of work for a little while, and I thought I had to get back into the real world. So yeah, I just jumped on here to say hi. I don't even really know what the topic is, but I'm guessing it's the black struggle.
No. Okay, so what the topic was, I was actually doing a joint live with Ems. I don't know if you know Ems, but we do joint lives. Maybe, I think have you been on one of our lives before, a joint one?
I've been on your live, but that was like a fair few months ago.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Fairy Bird. Thank you. Anyway, yes, so we were doing a joint live and the topic was black and brown people standing on the necks of white narcissism and racism. So that's what we were talking about actually, and giving more of our black and brown brothers and sisters more techniques to fight racism, because a lot of the time, and I've seen it particularly this week, Leanne and I especially, we've seen some of our black brothers get sucked into silly, pathetic, racist arguments. We've also seen our black brothers platforming racists, you know, so we're not about that. We're about laughing at racists, making them look stupid, but also knowing where our boundaries are, which is not allowing them to go past the point where it actually starts to harm us, you know. I've seen some very disgusting words from white racists towards black people, and I've not seen black people put their boundary up. You know, Mohammed here, what I'm like. I think in terms of that, I'm very much a case of, if you go past the line, you're dropped or you're blocked, depending on what your offense is. You know, sometimes it's just a case of you're not getting the topic, we're done, drop down. Otherwise, we can't continue, because if you've gone so far past and you've become personal or you've displayed some kind of ist or ism, that's a block. You know, and I really want more black and brown people to, and especially men actually, because what I'm finding, Mohammed, is that men are more interested in engaging with racists just to prove that they're right, because their egos are not actually fully formed yet, I have to say. Like, they're more interested in seeming smarter than a racist, which actually should be very easy to do. But they're going down the route of, I need to be smarter than them, I need to be smarter than them, I need to be more respected than them. They're a racist, like, that's a low
I
bar.
think it's more trying to prove to them that you're smarter than them, which I think it's a given if they're racist, right?
Exactly. So why are men spending time with them trying to prove that? No. Doesn't make sense.
As
It
always,
doesn't
for
make
the
sense.
panel, I've got plenty of anecdotes, right? So I'm a Muslim man. I work with a guy who is a white, straight, heterosexual male, and he genuinely feels like he's being hard done by in this country, right? Does that make sense?
Sorry, it's just because I had to block Serena in the chat, so I wasn't quite really listening.
No, I was saying.
Sorry, carry on, Mohammed. Could you say that again?
No, I said I work with like a white British male, and again, no offense, I don't really hold any prejudice or nothing, but he really feels like he was hard done by in this current climate, and I really don't know what to say to him. I genuinely feel like, do you know when equality to the oppressors always sounds like oppression, right? Does that make sense? Right? So I feel like we go on this ride every day and we have these conversations, and he genuinely feels like he's hard done by, and that the country's changed and he can't say anymore. And I don't know how to get across to him, mate, you can say what you want. There's been no significant changes to any free speech laws, right? But you just can't say what you want without any consequences like you used to in the past.
Why is it your job, Mohammed? Is he like your friend or something?
We spend about 8 hours a day together. So
He's just your work colleague.
Yeah.
He's just your work colleague, right?
Yeah.
But it's not your job to do that. Like, really, it's not your job. And this is generally what white people are doing. Again, as I said, they're trying to siphon our energy, and they're trying to justify the reasons for their behavior, because he's probably saying shit about you when he goes back home, by the way, because if he's saying stuff like this at work, imagine what he's saying at home.
Well,
and
yeah,
he probably wants to get a rise out of you, Mohammed. So if you can put headphones at work, that's what I would just, if I was you, right, and he was saying this to me, he'd be like, oh, the state of the country. And I'll be like, oh, well, it's working for me. And I'll put my headphones on, and that's it.
Fox, just for the sake of sort of getting on, I don't know. I feel like I have to sort of try with him. And
why? You don't owe him anything, Mohammed. You owe yourself it.
True. And even today, right?
Mohammed, let me tell you something. I'm 42 years old, right? I've had so much work experience, a lot. I've had 10 different jobs in 8 years, and they were all permanent. I kept leaving because of stupid discrimination, the fact they wouldn't pay me anymore, and what I found was the problematic thing. It was because I had personality, and I actually was trying to get to know people. Yes, Maddie, I am 42. I tried to get to have people to have fun and to joke and laugh. They don't want to do that. So, Mohammed, if people are having conversations with you, just know that what you say in the office does not stay there. It doesn't stay there. Topics like this, especially when it comes to politics and talking about it in the workplace, it's not a good position for you to be in. And it's not your job, as I say, to mollycoddle people, especially white people who are just understanding their country.
Well,
it's not. If you want to keep the peace, just be like, oh, well, that sucks. Or just echo what he wants to say if you want to. But again, he'll probably just be like, well, this brown person told me this. You know, it is, thank you, black men. It's dangerous professionally to get involved in this kind of conversation.
I want to put a question to the panel, because this guy said something today that actually offended me, but I sort of just let it go. And I really would like the panel's opinion on this. He said, obviously, my name is Mohammed, I'm a Muslim, and he was going through his social media. You can imagine what kind of videos the algorithm serves to him, right? And he said, "Oh, if Prince Andrew was a Muslim, he would have got away with it." Right?
Have you not reported it to HR, Mohammed?
I don't.
This is
really
an
wanna-
HR issue.
Yeah, I don't really want to take it that far, but am I sort of wrong to get offended here?
You're wrong to not approach it to HR. I'll let other people on the panel answer this as well,
please,
but
if you
like
can,
in the
guys.
chat, they've also said this. You're supposed to go to HR about this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If Prince Andrew was a Muslim, he would have got away with it. And I was like, well, I didn't really know how to react to that. I sort of just took.
You're not supposed to react to it. You're supposed to just go to the correct department to discuss this, which is HR.
And again, it's like, you know, my name is Mohammed and I'm a Muslim. Why are you cracking those sorts of jokes? Right?
He knows because he knows he can.
No, you
Because
ring
he
the-
knows he can. And Mohammed, I'm sorry, but you came up here being like, oh, how do I mollycoddle this person who wants to try and goat me? And now you're saying he said directly something to you to offend you. And you're asking me how I will ask you to make, or asking the rest of us how we make a racist comfortable. Instead of you going to HR and saying, I'm sitting next to a racist who is antagonizing me.
You need to ring the police and then tell HR.
That too. Thank you.
You ring the
That
police
too,
first.
Mohammed.
I used to deal with them. I used to work for a few big companies, actually a manager, Amazon, HSBC, Heinz, and Cooperative Bank. The first thing you do is, I'm a Muslim. I actually went through this in the past as well. You ring the police first, you report the crime, get a CRI number, and then you go to HR and say, if you don't deal with that, I'll be taking it further. And believe me, and you, he won't have a job by the end of the day.
So I'm not wrong to get offended here, because that was offensive to me. Like that.
Or
Really
you go for option 2, and after 5, you just wait for him outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit. Yeah, in my younger days maybe, but I'm sort of, I don't know. I'm a little bit older and a little bit wiser. So violence is not the answer, I think.
Can I just jump in there?
Like the truth is, yeah, sure. And also Leanne has something to say as well.
Sorry, Leanne, this is
The
a quick
truth,
one.
the truth is really correct. And Mohammed, you seem to be stuck on whether you should be offended or not, but it's offensive. Like, do you need our
I was
validation?
offensive, but I'm in two minds, because I've never been in that sort of situation. So you know when something hits you and you don't know how to react. I was sort of there, like at the end of the spotlight. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Right. Someone asking the question, where'd you get the evidence? The first thing you should have done was emailed the person and say, you've just made a comment. I'm not sure if you're aware, but I find that very offensive, and I've CC'd in HR so that they can have a discussion with you. You should have the content, I can never say that word, compendious, the notes at the time. By doing it at the time then, it's a lot easier for them to say, well, you know, he's made a note of it there and then. You should have also gone up to your manager and said, look, this is the situation. Me personally, I don't talk to people, because if it's not written down, it don't happen. I would have said, you know what, I want to meet him with HR about this, and I want to know what they plan to do. Not to tell them about it, but what is your plan to do? I'm pulling out every policy. But I'm sorry, Mohammed, you're giving me vibes that you don't really want to do anything, because one thing I always notice, and maybe this is something we need to talk about as a community, is when it's always on the black people to do stuff, to take up the civil rights in the office. And this is why sometimes I don't entertain my colleagues, because you already know it's not right. You already know that this man's having conversations with you that's inappropriate. I came up to answer the question. You can't talk to me about any other ethnicity in my presence, and you're YT, and you expect me to agree with you. Whether or not I agree, don't care, indifferent, I'm just not going to tolerate it. Because for me, personally, as a BLK person, I have solidarity, and I know that you're just using that as an example. And as a lady that was on here before, when I was before I had to drive off, talking about, oh, she's never witnessed stuff in the office, she probably was the perpetrator. And
Yeah.
this is why I don't entertain it, because they're not stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. But I know Leanne wants to come in, so I'm going to hold it there. But if you're not serious about this, Mohammed, because even now as I'm talking to you, you should be writing that email to office to say, this happened today. I'm still ruminating as I've come home today, and it's left me feeling sad.
Thank you, Mimi. Excellent advice. Leanne, you got something you want to add as well?
Yeah, no, sorry, because Mimi, she said stuff I was going to say as well. I'm confused, Mohammed. You want something to happen. If you don't speak up, what do you think's going to happen?
I think it's going to carry on and continue.
Exactly. So what would you rather do? Suffer racism or make it stop?
Well, yeah, scuffle it, yeah.
So I'm confused of coming to people, you know what you should do, but you want the confirmation from what the same people that also suffer it too.
Guys, it's like, let me just break it down a bit more. It's more than sort of a confirmation. When I say we work together, we don't work together in an office. We work together in a van 8 hours a day, right? So
It doesn't matter.
We sort of day to day we get on a human level, right?
The sub story doesn't matter.
Common
I'm sorry.
fight.
The sub story doesn't matter. I'm sorry, Mohammed. You're trying to now explain. I don't really see him like that. You know, we don't really cross paths. Maybe I'm going to see him at lunchtime or maybe in a meeting. I'm confused. I'm just hearing excuses right now. I'm just confused because if you keep quiet, then don't speak up then when he starts calling you the N-word and derogatory terms. And the next thing you're being pulled up into a meeting saying, you know what, we might need to put you on a performance review out of nowhere.
Mohammed, it seems like you're just trying to not make an uncomfortable situation more uncomfortable, but he's allowed you to be uncomfortable, and you're allowing it, you know, like Leanne said. Do you want to get it improved or do you want to make it worse? Because what happens with racists is they always test the ground, and he's already tested the ground with you a few times and you still haven't done anything yet. So what's the consequence going to be? Unfortunately, you know, sometimes what happens is, as men, and I'll speak on behalf of men, is how do men generally deal with difficult situations? They do sometimes end up resorting to violence, and I don't want that to happen to you, because if they push you too hard, you'll be out of a job, you know. And so this is why the situation, and why LB has said it, why Black Meme said it, why Leanna said it, why The Truth said it, is make the police report and then go to HR, because this is not your issue. If you used to talk about your colleague, you have to spend time with him in the van, there'll be someone else that can replace him. So you're not uncomfortable. They will replace him.
It could have been done in a heartbeat as well. Literally, like as soon as you got back, straight away to your manager. By the way, I want to have a meeting with you, little informal chat, because that's exactly how the process is. It starts off as an informal chat, then they signpost it on. Maybe it might have to be a formal meeting, might have to have a note taker. Then you have to there's policies and procedures. I don't know why. I get it. Sounds like you're scared to speak up. But this is where I'm tired of we have to sit in it for the sake of other people being comfortable. I'm tired of it, and we're in 2026 now. Come on, it's nearly March. We should not be comfortable sitting in comfortabilityness now.
Can I just also jump in here? One thing I noticed as well, because when the lady before said about, there's laws now, what made me laugh, and I really want to come up, is the laws that we've got. Actually, I find it's a lot of YT people that tend to use those laws. They're quick to take the employer to court for maternity leave issues or anything else. When we did an audit in the place that I work, the racism or discrimination was mainly the Irish staff saying that they were being discriminated by the English staff. It was very rare that Black staff would actually raise an issue of racism, because we know we're not taken seriously. But my point is, if we don't use the laws that are there, then it starts to tell people that we don't need those laws. So at every opportunity, you should be exercising the fact that there's a law there that's meant to protect me. Because if you can't utilize that law in practice, then it means that we don't have that equality. And you need to, one of the reasons why I came up as well is I love this live, because it's time to stop pussyfooting around now. One of the things that concerns me is that a lot of people don't understand what racism, imperialism, and colonialism is, right? They talk about racism when they're really talking about supremacy. They talk about racism when they're really talking about prejudice. They talk about discrimination when really they don't even understand someone just doesn't like them. We need to use the correct terms as ourselves as Black people. We also need to inform ourselves as Black people as to what is going on, because a lot of you are swallowing the cookie juice and you don't realize that really it's pickle juice, and it's going to come back and regurgitate on you. And
and I need you to stop it, because when it comes down to it, if you can't empower yourself with the information and knowledge that you need about your circumstance, you cannot expect other people to engage with you or deal with you appropriately. There are certain communities that people just don't mess with. Why? Because they know their rights, they know what's going to happen, and more power to them. And when it comes to certain people within the workplace, those of us that will stand up and have those boundaries, we are seen as difficult. We are seen as the person that's being difficult. Why? Because you've got people, sorry to say, Mohammed, that are allowing people to take the pee out of them, and they think it's okay. You can't have banter with me. I don't know what that is. I'm going to ask you, did you mean that to be racist or offensive? What do you mean by that? I'm also neurospicy too as well, so that helps, because I want to know, what do you mean? What was that supposed to elicit? And where do you expect me, if they're going to be rude, what do you expect me to do with what you just said there? These are the things that I need us to start doing. I say this to my young people all the time. I will come down to the school and fight and argue and stuff when needed, but I also put things in writing. And so when the teachers are engaging with me, they don't engage with me in a way that they do with the other parents. Because one, I'm not going to come and beat them up, because I don't need to, because my pen is really good. Yeah, I'm really good. I used to be a governor, so I know exactly what I'm throwing in. And one thing about me, with my little neurospicy self, I like to look at a policy. I like to quote the policy back to you, because at the end of the day, if you've upset me and I have to take time out of my day to do this, then we're both going to be delayed together. I land there.
Yeah.
Hello,
So,
hi,
Mohammed,
good evening.
are you gonna make your? Oh, so Amina. Sorry, I'm just going to do this, and we're going to bring in Amino. Mohammed, are you going to make the complaint? Yes or no?
I am gonna fire off an email to my line manager and to HR, but I don't think I'm gonna fire off anything to the police.
Okay. Well, you've got that step now. You've got that step to do.
I've got the consensus from the panel now, and I see that I'm not. It's just I didn't know how to react, so I see that I'm not wrong to be offended. It's right. He shouldn't have said that, right? So I will fire off the email, like I said, to the line manager and to HR, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, and Rasta Pinky has said in the chat, make sure you CC yourself in the email as well as a backup. Make sure anything that you do, you have copies of it on your own personal phone or computer, whatever else you have. Everything screenshot, everything recorded, everything annotated. Keep your own records. This is very important.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it on my personal email and on my company email. So
you need to do the company one. You need to do the company one, but you can blind copy in your personal. Yeah.
I've got literally all my all the people, all the managers on my personal email. So I'll do both. I'll do on my company email and my personal email, and take it from there. And thank you guys. I really I genuinely, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not used to this stuff, right? This stuff, this prejudice, this is not England that I grew up in. Even though England has been bad, in the last few years, it's been getting worse for people like me, Black and Muslim, right? So it's been getting worse.
Mohammed, this is the first time that you're willing to address it. I know we've had this discussion before on the panel, and I made it very clear to you about your existence may have been very because it's in London, isn't it? You live or around London?
I live in Berkshire, so not far from London.
Oh, you're Berkshire. Oh, you're in Berkshire. Oh.
Reading is to be specific. Yeah.
In where, sorry?
Reading.
Oh, okay, in Reading. Okay. Well, Reading is quite multicultural, isn't it? So anyone who's in these big cities, they kind of, and especially because there's more of your own sort of ethnic groups, you may think that there's less racism, but Reading is
Reading is very multicultural.
So I think generally as well, Mohammed, the fact that we're more online, we're more talking about the racism that we've experienced. It's literally you've come up here, Mohammed, and asked us if you should be offended by something. Already in 2026, you're asking this question when we already know that that's an offensive thing to say. So for me, you have been a bit tunnel vision with a lot of the stuff, and you've probably thought that Reading is not racist when it frickin' is, But again, when you're online, you're seeing a lot of these conversations, and it's making you think. And just generally, this is what it's like a bit more anyway for Black and brown people. We're having our experiences validated because we've been gaslight by white people to think that what we're thinking is not offensive when it actually is, so I think this might cause you to actually do a lot of reflection on your life, not just from this one conversation, Mohammed. But we've got Amino who wants to come in as well. Amino?
Hi, good evening, everybody. I greet you all. My English is not good, but you already said a lot of things.
It's
And to be
fantastic anyway.
honest, really, racism you will see everywhere. And me, my belief, every nation have a racism. But most of us, we are all here. All of us, we have seen it different racism on a different
Okay,
type of.
Amino, are you very aware of the differences between racism, prejudice, and discrimination?
Yes, I know. It happened to me, same story. Muhammad happened to him. And the reason I come up with this, I say to him, you have to record everything. I have recorded everything. I have a union. I report to HR. And that was my supervisor. And then when I see them, they are not doing anything.
We're just going to go back a little bit first before we go even more forward. So every culture cannot be racist. Like prejudice is completely different. Racism has an element of power behind it, and it's literally discriminating against people because of their race, right? Because of actually their skin color. So when we talk about racism in the Western world, in the white world, it's because we are literally held back from jobs. You know, we're discriminated against in our relationships, schooling as well. It's very much shown that Black and brown kids are kept lower down. You know, the teachers also think that we're not educated enough and not smart enough to go up higher levels. That's a very basic sort of understanding of what racism is, but it literally requires power to be behind it. And generally only white people actually can be racist, because other groups such as ourselves, which me and you belong to, we are the oppressed group. So yes, we can display prejudice and discrimination against white people. We can say certain things about them which we may or may not like, right? But that's prejudice. That's
But
discrimination. It's not
sometimes,
racism.
do you know, does not help you?
Say that
The
again.
law of this country sometimes don't help you. The law of this country
What did you
sometimes
say?
don't help you when you get kind of those things.
Which things?
So you're saying that we should be grateful to England because it gave us some things?
No.
Yeah, I said sometimes the law of this country at workplace, it does not help you.
So Amino,
It happened to me as well.
Can I tell you something? You've got a very strong accent, right? And I've got a more English accent than you. Why would you think that the country would treat you better more than it would treat me better? Why?
No, it not treat me. It will treat me worse than me. It will treat me very bad. My English is no good.
Amino, exactly.
Now
So
you
why?
now you understand me.
No, you know what it is? I think she's saying the same thing, but we're not hearing the words she's saying. I think your wording, yeah, is yeah.
Yeah, she understand me now.
I think
tell you,
Amino, was you trying to say the laws in our country don't help us?
yeah, she said it.
doesn't
I am in UK as well, and she understand me in the end.
Okay, cool.
and
Okay, cool. We're saying
my English is not
okay.
good. My English is not good. So you born this country, you know more than me. For me, it was difficult, but I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
I report to HR, but me, I am autism. I don't like talking. If I get talk, sometimes I get angry. I will beat the person. So what I do is I write. I write by letter. I take to them, and they say to us, "Why you are not talking?" I say, "I'm not talking. You read the letter." I send it to
Really?
HR. Yeah, everything. But in the end, they tried not to do for me anything. They tried to kick me out from the work. I get a lawyer. I get compensation. More money I take from them, and I tell them, "Fuck your job."
As you should.
Good for you.
But after 3 weeks later, I beat her to death.
Hey, allegedly.
Yes, sometimes your hand will give you freedom.
Allegedly,
I
please,
am
I
a Somali
beg.
and I don't joke.
No, I know,
follow
but you
our
have to
belief.
say allegedly. You have to
I
say
wear
allegedly.
burqa. You know burqa?
No, my sister, we have to say allegedly.
Allegedly. Okay, teach me the English. Teach me the English.
We have to say allegedly. You don't know.
I like the English.
I'm so weak.
You are so funny. Thank you very much. You made my day, man. This is experience. I have it.
You're funny.
I like you all.
No, but you know what? You have brought a thing to the conversation, because it's true. A lot of us do have the British accent, and there isn't enough conversation on those that don't have the quote unquote accent for people to typically be palatable to. So it's good that you said that in the conversation, to be honest.
But anyway, I'm very happy now. I don't care anything they say it on me.
Good for you. Good.
I learned my
That's
lesson
exactly it.
from there. Now my eyes is open. If anyone wanted, I said, please do not go your manager. Just always make by writing. Have a copy. Have HR. Make sure you have union. I wouldn't add police. Police, I wouldn't go. Me, I don't trust them at all. You know. If
But
that is
you saying union is a good thing. I don't think there's enough black BLK and ethnic minorities that are with the union.
It helping me a lot. Union, they helping me a lot. You know, now I am retired for that money. I'm enjoying my TV.
Amen. Amen.
I don't go work. I enjoy it. In the future, maybe. So make sure always you record. You have union. Report to HR, and don't just go to your supervisor and manager. Talk by writing. Take a letter.
It's
Say to them everything I write there. You read it. Even though me my English no good, I ask a friend. Write with me. Is it correct?
English is very good, Amina. The problem was me. I didn't understand. The problem was me.
I was a healthcare. The job was stressful.
I didn't.
The job was very stressful. You know, so it is. You will see everywhere problems in this world, but sometimes also is.
Oh, your signal keeps cutting in and out, Amino.
Yeah, I think the signal just dropped.
Yeah, I have a poor network. It's 3G, and 3G, very bad network.
Ambreen in the comment section says, we understand your English is fine and you have a nice accent. You do have a very excellent accent. Very, very excellent. And
Thank you very much. So I don't want it. Yeah.
No, please. So this is how I'm going to also empower you today, right, Amino? Your accent really is so beautiful. Like, it's so beautiful. The way that you can roll the R off the top. Yes, you just did it. The way you can roll the R off the top. Yes. I can't even do
like
it.
a lorry, yeah?
I sound like I'm gargling something in like the saliva. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't even like.
Are you from Caribbean? I want to make you laugh. Are you from Caribbean? Jamaica?
I'm African Caribbean, so I'm Nigerian and Grenadian. Yeah.
Can I tell you a story to make you laugh when I was new in UK?
Yes, go ahead.
When I come UK was 9/11. I come this country, yeah? I've never seen Jamaica in my life. Only Jamaican I hear was Bob Marley in the TV.
Oh, wow.
And you know what's scary? Me, Muslim, 9/11 was like a coronavirus. They will think you are the one of doing kind of those things. So this lady, she sit with me the bus and she said to me, "Pamba glass, pamba glass." I thought she's going to put the bomb in the glass and throw me. And then I scream it, there is a bomb in the bus, there is a bomb. The white man, he stopped the car and ran and called me 999. Both of us was been arrested. 24 hours I was in the police chair.
Wait, pause. Wait. You was arrested? Wait, what?
Yes, I was been arrested. This type of English, you know?
Wait, no.
Hold on a second.
We must
Hashtag Chukken.
No, hold on. We need to dissect this story. Wait,
hashtag Bomber Glass
sister.
and hashtag Chukken.
Sister, hashtag Bomber Clit. So wait, you heard Bomber Clit. How did you end up arrested?
My background, it was
slow down.
So I thought she's putting a bomb in the glass and throwing me. And I scream it, there is a bomb in the bus. There is a bomb in the bus. Now I scared the Jamaican when they talk, you know. I go other way. I say, please, I don't want to go to the police station. Leave me alone. So that is the story I get from my Jamaican followers in UK, yeah? When I was new in this country. Now when they speak the Batswa, I run away. I tell them, please, me no understand you English.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And I make you laugh, all of you. It was nice meeting you. Mrs. Bomber Glass have to go now.
Please come back again. Come back again, follow Fox. No.
Jamaica, God bless you. They put me into 9/11 in prison. God bless you. We all have problem in this country, English language.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So the reason I bring it for you all now it is because you say my English is like Yeah, I know. That is why I ended the police station. God bless you all, and it was nice meeting you. Keep always the good work. I like people like you, my sister.
God bless you. The only Somalian word I know is Hoyo.
So
Thank you,
you say
Hoyo.
you have Nigeria. So you're Igbo or Yoruba? I used to live in Lagos.
Yoruba.
Yoruba.
Back
you
in the
did?
days.
You spent more time there
Yes.
than me, unfortunately, for me.
I was
but
an
great for
African
you.
peacemaker. That's why I thought the woman she was putting the bomb in the glass.
I am weak. Do you understand me?
And 9/11, you know, the 9/11 was scary. If you were in the big clothes, you know, Muslim clothes, and you're at the bus, it was like a coronavirus time, you know. Corona time. If you sit someone near to them and cough, you will fight with them. Don't cough with me. 9/11 was like that. So me coming all the way Africa through these military things, I thought, you know, this woman, she's gonna kill. She's gonna blow all the bus. So it's better I scream before we all die. God help us all. I like you, my sister. No wahala now. I have to go.
Sister.
Take
Thank
care.
you so
Bye
much
bye.
for coming by. Please, we hope
Time
to
to
speak to
time,
you
I will
again.
visit you. You need to teach me how to use also this TikTok. Me, I could make more money, you know.
You see how to hold on.
Me hilarious
You
little
see that?
bit.
See, I think you click my name up here, right? Click my name up here, and I
I
think
will
it's
follow
followed.
you
If
right
haven't
now.
followed me already, click this,
I will
and then
follow you. Master Bomba Glass will follow you. Thank you. God bless
Thank you
you.
so much.
This is
Right, on
Bomba
that
Glass
note
will
as
follow
well,
you.
guys, on that note, because it has been like about 3 or 4 hours, I don't know, I've lost track of time. We are going to end it. And honestly, thank you so much, everybody who came today. This has been an absolutely fantastic live. I genuinely really enjoy the lives here. Ems, you know, I love co-hosting with him. And this is a great topic. I love all the topics as well that we talk about. I love humiliating the racists as we go, humiliating men as we also have done in previous panels. I think it's been very insightful. Of course, we've shared a lot of our personal stories. We've also connected with people from all over the world, which is always also fabulous that we always manage to do that. So yeah, sighs of hurt from laughter. We've laughed a lot on today's topic. You see, guys, Leanne, you see, in the face of racism and all the shit that we see, we can still laugh about this shit. Like, we can still laugh.
You have
We can
no
laugh.
choice to, can't lie. We have to laugh. We have to laugh, otherwise we're all going to be crying.
Exactly. When we laugh, we disempower the racists. We really disempower them. We empower ourselves more. But as I said, like, please, everybody, just know what your boundaries are. Mohammed, this is a boundary we were talking about with all the things that you were dealing with there. This is your boundary, understanding that you need to have a boundary when it comes to these people, because if you give them an inch, they take a mile constantly.
Yeah.
And this is
Thank
how
you, guys.
the country is as it is.
Thank you. You guys did really get me some clarity, so thank you. And yeah,
Good.
thanks for hosting us, Fox.
Sorry, you see in the chat, Ella Haynes. True, two can play that game.
Honestly, hashtag Tukan, hashtag Bomber Class, W's for everybody in the chat. Nah, this live. This live. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much as well. Thank you, ladies on the panel, Leanne, LB, Mohammed, Black Mimi. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody else who's come up today. Thank you to my wonderful mods as well. Ray was here earlier. CHB18, Hermit Sapien. This is Beth. The Anti-Racist Mum, of course, was up earlier as well. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Hashtag Toucan. Hashtag
Bomber Class. Bomber Class.
Thank you for having me. Bye. That's been brilliant.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Honestly, excellent. And yeah, great job, everybody. Why is somebody requesting to come up? I'm finishing now.
No, guys, follow Fox. Follow her. She does really good lives. She calls out the BS. She don't entertain the racists. We entertain them and we laugh. Well, we laugh at them, to be honest. But we have a boundary. We have a limit. But definitely follow Fox, because her lives are very positive. It's genuinity. The comment section 1010. The comment section. Shout out to can't lie. Let me shout out the comment section. The comment section. You man, the mods, you man hold it down. You guys are amazing. And I'm glad that people have found the space. But yeah, please follow the girl.
Thank you. Yeah, and thank you always to the usual people come by. Paulie, always good to see you. Rasta Pinky, good to see you. Actually, do you know what? It's the easiest thing if I actually just go up here and click. Instead of scrolling back up, Mercy Graceful, Hermit Sapien. I think we've got you. Hermit Sapien is also here. Brilliant, thank you. Kelza is also here. Lucky Girl, Dreams, Autonomy, Meme Green, Joyce Hayes, MK, Dutch Queen, W12, Ella, of course, like bringing it home there, bringing it back. Ambreen as well, Focus as well, The Lone Ranger, Mia, my darling Mia, also here, Mia Leeds, Brad, etc., 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 etc. Thank you so much, everybody. And I might be on tomorrow because generally, you know, tomorrow is my usual time, 3 p.m. GMT. I might come back on tomorrow, or this might have energetically drained me. I don't know yet. Yeah. We'll see what tomorrow brings because it's a live one. And also, hopefully, Leanne and I will start doing some co-hosts as well.
100%, man. Me, I'm tired. Let's start doing our own spaces at this point.
Yes, exactly. So I'm looking forward to starting that. So yes, thank you everybody and have a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I love you all. And yeah, I will put on my story if I'm going to be on tomorrow. So Zach London, there's a movie called Taken, or is it Taken?
No way.
All right, thank you so much, everybody. And as Leanne said, you guys in the chat today were absolutely brilliant. And thank you guys on the panel. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.